picture show, which I don't even have a banner. See, it doesn't matter if Kim's here or not. I still don't got shit ready to go. I'm never ready. I think that's the right one. Yeah, that's it. Because there's only one. I have no idea what we're doing after this. But let's see on the other side of the show.
This podcast is part of the Red 5 Network. For more Red 5 Network podcasts, visit red5network.com.
Welcome to Use and Abuse. I'm Scott. Obviously, Kim's not here with me this time, but we're going to do this anyways. Like I said, before did the little Red 5 deal in the opening song. Got Lunar Girl waiting in the backstage area, waiting to come on, and was going to take care of some business real quick. This ought to be interesting because I get to read all my things I write up, so this ought to be funny because I don't think I write them very well, but we'll see. And we'll start right off with thanking our Patreons, Lunar Girl and Dragon Buddy, Don Del Solsky, Brady Big Lovin', Hannah, Mikey Brindley, and Case. If you want to join our Patreon, go to patreon.com, search in the creator bar Used and Abused Pod. Search for Used and Abused Pod today on all your favorite podcast apps, including Apple, Google, Audible, Amazon Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more. We're also a proud member of the Red 5 Network. Go to Red 5 Network to find more exciting podcasts, including Scare Podcast. I just got done listening to both of their last two episodes. They did one on Westerns with the Frank, and then they had, I think it was Amanda or Amber. They did it on Halloween, which was friggin' Ghost Stories was friggin' cool. And I'm definitely going to shout out the Scare Podcast because they put on a very good show. Check them out. Also, go check out our Sidebar Pod family, the Sidebar Cantina. They're on hiatus until, I believe, next Monday. But when we get Lunar Girl on here, we will talk about that. Also, check out ATSW The Escape Pod. Both Sidebar Cantina and The Escape Pod are on YouTube and your favorite podcast apps. Also, check out our friends, The Orange and Fett Show, on Spotify. You can also check out Swede Studios, Big Swede's Excellent Adventure, and Tactical Swede, only on YouTube. Don't forget to smash that like button. And if you're new to the channel, click the subscribe and then click that bell to be notified when we go live. You can find Used and Abused on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can email us at usedandabusedpod@gmail.com. That "and" is spelled out A-N-D. Our website is usedabusedpod.com, all lowercase. There you can find links to all of our episodes, link to our YouTube videos, replays of our live shows, and link to our merch store, and link to our Patreon. That would actually be under the donate tab. You can leave us a message and also click subscribe to be notified by email when new audio-only episodes are available. I don't know why I put is, and I always think it should be R, so it's probably what it should change it to. Go to tpublic.com and search for Used Abused Pod, all lowercase. Now it's our merch store. There you can find t-shirts, tank top, hoodies, space masks, onesies, coffee mugs, and etc. There is a lot of stuff. As for next week, we really have no idea what we're doing. So we'll just run this as we can now. And real quick, in the chat, I want to shout out, obviously we got Lunar Girl, Dragon Buddy, Alan from Press Play Studios. Kim is actually in the chat, so she is in there, also going to help moderate us. So let's go ahead and get this show started. This is the Rocky Horror Picture Show. This is the first time I've ever seen it. I'm 50 years old now, and I finally watched this for the very first time. But before we talk about it, let's go ahead and get Lunar Girl in here. And here she is. Lunar Girl, welcome to the show.
Hi, friends.
Oh, gosh. And so David Jason will be back next week on the Sidebar Cantina?
Yes, they will be
Nice.
back next Monday, November the 8th, usually between 5 and 5:30. I will let everybody know the time when we get closer to Monday. And they'll be talking about their favorite 80s gadgets.
Nice.
Yeah.
The Walkman.
The Walkman, the Speak and Spell,
Pocket
the
Simon.
camcorder, Simon, a whole bunch of those things.
Yeah.
Game Boy. You remember all those things, the
Oh
big
yeah, I mean,
chunky brick
I
cell phones.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
I got one of those old school brick ones in 93, 92 or 93.
Bro.
Yeah.
I didn't have
I
my first cell phone until 2002.
well, I was working for a drilling company at the time,
Mhm,
and you know, we you make pretty much minimum wage, but then you
mhm,
get paid per diem because the company was based out of Elko, Nevada, and we were up in Lincoln, Montana, which is even a smaller town than Battle Mountain, Nevada, which is amazing. I didn't think
mhm.
even you get smaller than that, but it did.
Right.
And the per diem checks pretty much covered everything: groceries, gasoline, your rent. We were renting a studio apartment pretty much at a
Mhm.
motel. And so you had everything covered. So your paycheck was just your toy money.
Yeah, right?
And we went to Helena, I think it was, and this would
Mhm.
be with Hannah's mom. We went to Helena and I saw Motorola cell phone. And I'm like, oh, I gotta have this. I have to have this. I've seen these things in movies. I want one. So I get it, not thinking, that I got it was like what, 10 cents a minute, no texting, obviously.
Oh my goodness, yes.
And if you're roaming, it was like 25 or 30 cents a minute.
Mhm,
And then of course you had to pay for your long back then because there was no long distance plans.
mhm,
And the best part about having that was one time we decided to head back home for a weekend. I was off and we went back to Battle Mountain. I called my mom. I
mhm.
parked on the opposite side of the street, literally talking to her on this phone, walking down Main Street in Battle Mountain and going, yeah, we're going grocery shopping. Da, 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 da,
Right.
da. And then I hung up with her just as we walked into the motel where she worked as a desk clerk.
Uh-huh.
And she stood there and she's in there chatting with all the maids because they're on their break. And
Yeah.
I went, can we get a room, please? She turned around like, what the hell are you guys doing here?
I was just talking to you on the phone.
Yeah, exactly. And that's when it's like, how the hell?
Yeah,
How? And I
yeah,
went, oh, you mean this?
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, it was heavier than thought. It was really heavy when you had the battery on it.
yeah,
And
and
then
it's
you had
not
to,
like you could put it in your pocket.
oh, no, 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 no. And then you had to remove the battery to
Uh,
put on the car adapter, which
yes,
plugged
yes,
into the cigarette lighter, but it was a lot lighter. So
uh-huh,
yeah, it was crazy. And like,
yeah.
of course, I had to have one. Just like, yeah, I gotta have it. Gotta have it.
Oh,
That's
Tom is here. I haven't seen Tom in a couple weeks. Hey, Tom.
hey Dom.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Hectolorian joined
Oh
the
yeah,
chat.
DeLorean. I love the new name. I love it. Speaking of, since I showed it to Kim last night.
Uh-huh.
I finally did watch the trailer for Book of Boba Fett.
Oh, wasn't that
Oh damn,
just oh, just
I'm
a
excited.
tiny little breadcrumb
Oh,
leaves you wanting so much more.
right?
But in typical Filoni Favreau
Yep.
fashion, they're not going to give away the whole
Oh
movie
no.
or
Oh
the
no.
whole series in just a trailer. So,
And more likely, what we got is going to be in the first episode.
oh yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
because I mean, it's pretty much the thing with Mandalorian. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, we were just dying for it. Oh, please hurry up, come out. And of
Yeah.
course, was it December 29th? Like, really?
Yes. Yes.
Don't know if I can wait that long.
It's less than 2 months though. It's less than 2 months. We've made
I
it
know.
so long.
I know
So
it
long.
it's almost like that
Mhm.
late Christmas present that your grandparents sent you, and because of like the mail service or UPS, they're so far
Oh
behind
yeah.
that it gets to you
Mhm.
late. So you
Yeah.
that little breadcrumb of oh look,
Just a
it's
little
not
breadcrumb.
we get a little bit more to unopen, to open on after
Yeah.
Christmas, and
Yeah.
that's what this is gonna be like. Because yeah,
I can't wait. I
I
can't
can't
wait.
either. I
And
can't
then
either.
when that's done, just maybe a month or two later, we've got Kenobi in the lineup. We've got not Ahsoka. I think Ahsoka was pushed back to 2023. The Mandalorian season 3 should be out by the end of
Right.
next year.
Well,
Cassie
I'm
Landor.
wondering because I know Dominic Pace put
Yeah.
out that he will someone's around the release of the Mandalorian, the Gecko will be coming out.
Yes,
And
that
I'm
was
like,
pushed back
oh,
to what was it? I want to say spring of next year,
right.
only because of shipping
Yeah,
off
right. They
the
had
Pacific
right,
Coast.
right,
Yeah.
right. Well,
Mm.
unfortunately, we're still in COVID. You know, we're still
Mm.
dealing with COVID, and you know,
Mhm.
until that's. I mean, I think I swear I just read something or saw something where they're over in China at one of the Disney places. They just quarantined all these freaking people
Oh,
inside the
great.
park until
Oh,
they
great.
test positive or test negative for COVID.
Oh,
Like,
my
what the
goodness.
hell? But then again, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a communist country, so I mean, things are different over there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Imagine though being quarantined in Disney.
well,
Like
that could be fun.
2 weeks quarantined in Disney.
I
That
mean,
would be interesting.
it probably wouldn't be that fun for me, just because
Yeah.
I'm not. I mean, Disneyland's never been one of those things where I'm like, I gotta go.
I've never been there.
I haven't either, and I mean, most people I hear, you know, like, even after they open Galaxy's Edge, I'm like, yeah, okay,
Mhm.
yeah, you got me on that a little bit. You know, I kind of want to
Yeah,
go,
curious, but
do
meh.
I mean, I'm a person.
I
This is
don't
my
like
problem.
people. Like large crowds freak me out. I am your typical
Exactly
introverted nerd, you know, like
right. Well, it was like I mentioned before, you know, listening to Scare's last
Mhm.
podcast, the Ghost one, and listening to talk about, you know, that, you know, going to different funerals and stuff, and how, you know, a lot of them are based around food, and then everybody talks about the loved one,
Yeah.
you know, and it's like even on those things I don't like hanging out for.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, no, I just want to go somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I don't need to
I
be around a bunch of
totally get it.
I don't need to be around a bunch of relatives I barely know or don't know or don't
Mhm.
want to talk to.
Mhm. I've got my friends. I've got
Yeah,
my immediate family. I'm good, you know.
exactly. Same here. Same here.
But then again,
But
I like more obscure things that
yeah,
don't usually draw large crowds too. So I kind of like to fade in to the background of things. So
yeah.
Mhm.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I don't like to be the stick. I mean, it's funny because back in school, back in
Mhm.
high school, I was probably total opposite in a way. I mean, I still would be held back a little bit, but
Yeah.
give me around like a bunch of my friends, and yeah, I'm
Mhm.
like the life of the party.
That it was different back then.
But
Now we're older and
yeah,
more bitter.
right.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's how that works. Well, you know, it's always
Yeah.
those things where you go, you know, you you take your kids to see your parents, and they're like,
Mhm.
oh, la, 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 la," and the kid's like, I don't see how you could ever say anything bad about them. They're so awesome. Like these ain't the fucking people I grew up with.
These yeah, yeah. No.
I don't give a shit what the hell you think, because
Uh-huh.
these are not the same fucking people I grew up with.
Yeah, absolutely. Not the same.
It's completely different. So
Mhm.
of course now, you know, now that I got grandkids of my own, yeah, you know, it's like,
Yeah.
what, you want some candy? Here, have some candy. Oh, here, go
So
back to
now
mom.
you're doing it.
Oh, hell yeah. That's the joys of being a grandparent. You know,
Nice.
you
I'll
know, I
get there
mean,
someday.
I mean,
I hope.
that's the joys of being a grandparent is,
Yeah.
you know, now you get to spoil them and send them back.
That
That's why
sounds really nice.
you know, that's like what Hannah, you know, I mean, was a
Mhm.
couple of weeks ago or a few shows ago, she's like, oh, I'm just gonna send a case to you guys. Like, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can send him here for a couple months. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, I guarantee when he goes back to you, he'll be worse off than he is now.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but yeah, it is what it is. But
Yeah.
yeah, I cannot. I mean, honestly, when we were talking back before the show, you know,
Mhm.
I'm shocked that it took me this long to finally see this movie.
I know, I can't believe you've never seen it.
But
I
like,
mean, it's not a good movie, but it's a classic movie, and it's got this teeny like, this cult following
right,
where you just, you know, if you love it, you love it,
right,
and or else, you know, There's no in betweens. It's
Exactly.
so weird. It's like you were saying before we went live that it's a musical like Grease, only it's
Mhm.
not Grease. It's like
Right,
the
right,
anti-Grease,
right.
you know?
Exactly.
Mhm.
You know, and the thing for me is like I'm I always say I'm not a big musical fan,
Yeah.
but every musical I've watched so far, I've never hated.
Right.
So, I mean, I think a lot of that's got to do with the fact that, you know, I did high school band back in the day, or
Mhm.
started band in junior high, played trumpet
Right.
from 6th grade all the way to graduating high school.
Right.
And then when I formed, started forming a band, tried to form a rock band, I started out on a guitar
Mhm.
and there's, I don't know, I should throw the picture. I don't have it on my computer where I can throw it up, but there's a picture. It's funny because there's a buddy of mine, CC, we called him CC,
Mhm.
and he was a drummer, and we borrowed this fucking drum set from the school.
Right.
We borrowed their bass amp from the school.
Mhm.
Another friend of mine had a bass guitar, and then we knew these guys I knew this senior had a Flying V guitar,
Right.
guitar. And so I was like, fuck this, I want to be a guitarist, And so
Right.
we're just fucking around, and all of a sudden we get done messing around a little bit, and all of a sudden the other guy's like, the guy that's playing bass, like, hey, you mind if I play it? And he fucking played left-handed, so he had to turn it up, and all of a sudden he just fucking starts wailing. I'm like,
Ah!
me and my buddy, the buddy of mine was on the drums. We just both look at each other and go, he's a
Mhm.
fucking guitar player. Give me that fucking bass.
Yeah. Yeah. I bet.
So I mean, so at that moment it was like boom, like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. I mean, for me it was probably better off anyways, because one, at that time I was idolizing Nikki Sixx.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a friggin' songwriter just like him. So I was writing songs, and then so
Mhm.
after that move there, it was like, okay, now I need bass guitars. Because I remember, gosh, I don't remember what year it was. It had to be 86.
Right.
I begged and begged for a fucking guitar for Christmas.
Mhm.
So, of course, mom and dad they would order stuff and stick the shit underneath the bed.
Right.
So I go digging like a fucking teenager does. You go digging to see what you got for Christmas.
Mhm.
And I pull this box out, and it's friggin', it's got like the long shaft, like a neck. I'm like, oh, fucking hey, it's a guitar. And it's got this fucking cool body look. And I'm
Right.
like, oh, hell yeah, this is great,
Mhm.
It's electric. I asked for electric. I can't find the fucking amp. I'm like, damn, where is it? So we go up to my grandparents' house for Christmas,
Mhm.
and wake up Christmas morning, and they're sitting in an acoustic guitar.
Right.
Thank God we didn't have cell phones back then, or they didn't have a camcorder, because I'm sure I could pull up the look of knowing what I was gonna get, and then all of a sudden go, really? A fucking acoustic? Ungrateful little fucker. I mean, it was one of those things where I taught myself, like, don't go fucking look ever again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because my hopes had gotten up to here, and then it shattered.
Mhm.
And gosh, I want to say by March of 87, that acoustic guitar was no more.
Right.
That thing, I learned real quick how to break a guitar.
Mhm.
And then some friends bought me like a chord book for Who Made Who.
Right. Right.
And I'm like, no, no. Acoustic guitar, Who Made Who? No, fucking no. Oh, hell no. I ain't fucking playing country music. That's what again, I didn't really pay attention in the liner notes, what everybody was playing
Mhm.
on either on the songs or what it just said, what they used to make this whole album.
Right.
And the older I got, obviously I realized, oh, look, this was a 12-string acoustic, or, oh,
Mhm.
it used a 6-string acoustic here, because I started hearing it better. I started
Right.
really paying attention to the music. But yeah. But then when I
Well,
got
we
my,
definitely have a musical chat with us today. I
of
know
course,
Alan plays.
yeah,
I know that. And I know my husband was a drummer, and
nice,
he picked up the bass. He plays with the bass. He's self-teaching himself.
right.
So whenever he has time, he just picks up the bass and he plays. And Steve just hopped into the chat.
Hey,
Steve
Steve.
Long from Rogue One Radio, and he says he has either played guitar, bass, or vocals at any given time in a band.
Nice.
Sometimes he posts videos and stuff on of him and his band playing. So
Cool.
pretty cool. They're a punk, so
Oh, hell yeah.
nice. Yeah, awesome. And I think Alan is rock, and Dragon Buddy.
Oh yeah.
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 Nice.
Me and DB are finding out there's a lot of bands we like.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
One of the earlier episodes, I don't remember which one it was, but when I was talking about Helix, like fuck, all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, whoa, I haven't heard that." Like,
right?
You also know that name? It was just one of those bands where it's kind of like this, kind of like this movie. Some bands only have a cult following.
Right.
I mean, I chuckle at the the quote unquote saying, everybody's wearing flannel during Nirvana era. And it's like, okay, yeah, that's when flannel became mainstream. But the problem is me, my buddy CC, and a bunch of skaters in our small town were already wearing it when Suicidal Tendencies came out.
Right.
Because that was the skate, Suicidal Tendency, DRI, and some of those groups were all the jams for the skaters at the time.
That's another classic favorite of Dragon Buddy. He introduced me to them. I've never heard of them until I got with him. But that was 96. We became friends. So
right. Yeah.
Yeah. They were only a few years old then.
But yeah, but I just love it because this is like, and that's why I chuckle at that comment that Jason made, back when they did was it 91 and no way in hell, not everybody had that fucking album. Nobody bought a day one. I'm like, fuck you, dude. I did too.
I know.
I remember going to the record store or to the local record store we had. And again, I knew the guy personally.
Yeah.
And he would sit there and show me the book. Let me see the book. I knew what his costs were. And I knew that his costs were like completely bullshit compared to like Walmart and Kmart. That's because they could buy millions of copies. So, the record companies give them a lower discount.
Right.
And he goes, "What do you think of this?" I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "This Nirvana, never mind." I'm like, "I don't know. The album cover looks fucking cool. Order me one." And that was before even the single came out. Before Smells Like Teen Spirit came out, and then that came out. I went, "Oh hell yeah, I like this."
Yeah.
And that's why I chuckle. Where, yes, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, all that had to happen because the record industry did the same thing in the 80s, that they'd done before, where they, like they did in disco. They fucking just signed everybody.
Right.
Even it was on the Sunset Strip at that time was getting a record deal.
Right.
And it's pretty much, here, let's just throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. And I find it funny because I should have had this prepped up, but in Nikki's book, the first 21, how I became Nikki Sixx, he talks about how, again, the record industry fucked it up again in the 90s when they signed everyone that looked like or sounded like Nirvana and Pearl Jam. I'm like, yeah, exactly.
Right.
They oversaturate everything.
Right.
It's like, sign people who deserve it.
Yeah.
Not just because they all fucking look the same. But it was like in the dirt book. There was an article in there from the Grass Valley paper or something, like Nevada County paper. Anyways, it's up in their Sacramento area. And in there was Nikki Sixx saying, "You watch, within 5 years, there'll be a bunch of people in LA and signed that look like us."
Sure enough.
And I'm like, son of a, and that was in 81. He said that. And so 81, 5 years, 86, Poison, Cinderella. Fuck, he called it
Cinderella, Winger. We can't really count Def Leppard. They were in the beginning of the 80s.
Right.
And they were England. So.
And the same thing with Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi actually was, came out before the whole craze, before that whole crazy era, it's like Quiet Riot. But unfortunately, and the sucky part is like, even like, and I know I'll get Alan going on this because Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper.
He got wrapped in because of his albums during that time of being part of the hair band era and like fuck off.
Yeah, Alice Cooper is not hair band.
No.
Alice Cooper is Alice Cooper.
It's Alice fucking Cooper.
Yeah.
But and there was, I don't remember what song it was, but there was a song in, I think, gosh, one of the songs, like the way it started and everything, is reminding me of Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
And that was the one thing I was like really keen off of when I was listening to this, watching the movie and listening to the soundtrack with it, as it was going on or during the musical parts. There's points where you can, get that nasally Bee Gees sound.
Right.
That was really popular in the 70s. So this film, so let's go ahead and get into the main show.
First, Alan says, please don't classify Cinderella as a hairband.
Okay, I will. All right, yep. Steve, Wasp. I love Wasp.
Dragon Buddy likes Wasp. I wasn't a big Wasp fan.
I got into them on their second album, Last Command. Then went back and got their first album. And like my favorite song still to this day by them, it will always be School Days.
Right.
I just love that opening with the friggin' Pledge of Allegiance. And then it just like tells the true story of what it's like being in fucking school.
Yep.
It's like, God, how many times did we just like dream we could do that?
Yes.
Go through it. But yeah, I mean, or I know a lot of people won't consider this a really good song, but because it's off of Twisted Sister's Come Out and Play, but Be True to Your School. It's pretty much like taking the Beach Boys or whatever their fucking school song was, and taking that and fucking deranging it with Dee Snider and Alice Cooper.
Yes.
It was like, yeah. So that's like one of my favorite songs off that album. But yeah, I mean, I don't care about like, this whole, obviously you had the Warrants, you had the Poisons. Those guys are definitely, and even Bon Jovi. I mean, Bon Jovi finally fell down that rabbit hole of being the pop metal,
Yeah. And now he's just like pop something.
I have a hard time with his voice nowadays.
I do too.
Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
But then I can't say much because I mean, I've seen Crew 3 or 4 times now, and every time I go see him, it seems like Vince is getting worse.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and then I found out I don't know if he's going to come through now because I know one of his last shows he fell off the stage.
Oh my gosh!
And I think broke a rib or a couple ribs or whatnot. But he was supposed to be out here sometime in this month in November with Stephen Pearcy opening, who's originally singer of Rat, but I don't know. I mean, I got to see Rat with only 2 original members in 2005, and I thought it was a really good show.
Yeah.
But then again, I also got to see Cinderella that night too, and God, did they fucking put on a show.
Right.
And then,
I've never seen Cinderella.
Yeah, well, and unfortunately, you're never going to get to see him.
No, I mean,
unfortunately, Jeff LeVar just passed away, but
yeah,
Tom and Tom and Eric had not been on talking terms for almost 10 years now.
Oh my gosh, has it been that long?
Yeah, it really shocked me because I was like, wow. I mean, I knew Tom's been going out and doing all this, solo shit. I'm like, well, you just follow suit with the rest of them, And I'm like, well, why the fuck isn't Cinderella coming? So I started looking it up, like, oh fuck, they had it falling out. Damn.
Right.
Yeah, it was kind of shocking, but yeah, I love all the Dead Kennedys, the Ramones. Yes,
Ramones. Yes.
Oh god.
Oh, so I guess now we're going to talk Rocky Horror Picture Show, which is a musical.
It is a musical, which is amazing that I even watched it. No, I was joking.
A really weird musical.
Yes. What won me over for watching this was just Tim Curry. because was it a couple of weeks ago we did the show with Chantal,
Yeah.
and we talked about the worst witch, which that's the first time I saw Tim Curry.
Yeah.
And so as getting older, of course, he was in Home Alone 2, and then
so
going
many
back,
things. So many things. That man can play any role, and
exactly.
This is your proof.
Right.
He can do anything.
Exactly. And so when this has been on my radar to watch it because of Tim Curry.
Yeah.
I've had this on my radar for a long time, and just back early 2000s, it's like, well, you had to buy the DVD. Well, I'm like, God, what happens? What happens if I hate it? I mean, I know I do some impulse buys. Kim can attest to this easily, where I'll go in and album cover, like, fuck that cover, it looks cool. Let me just buy that fucking album.
Yeah.
I did that with 5150 from Van Halen when they had, or I should say Van Hagar, when they had Sammy come in the band after Daily Ross left. And I didn't know anything. I was early days of buying magazines for me, and so I didn't know what the hell was going on, but I looked at the cover, like, well, that's kind of cool looking cover, and we picked this up and I listened to it, like, holy fuck, okay, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, when I picked up Appetite for Destruction, unfortunately, yeah, Scott made a big mistake back in the day in '87.
What did you do?
I walked into a record store in Elko, Nevada, and they had the LP version of Appetite for Destruction, original cover.
Oh.
The original cover of the rape scene on the front cover.
And you didn't buy it?
No, because I didn't have a record player at the time. I was now buying CD. I was into buying. I was starting to purchase CDs, and so I purchased the CD of it.
And here you are, 30 some odd years later, saying, "I made a mistake."
Yeah, going. Why did I not pick that up? Especially after going through the, knowing that album cover got banned. Oh fuck. Well, it's like now there's talks that I love talking rock. We're supposed to be talking Rocky Horror, but we're talking about music again. But kind of like the thing going on right now with Nirvana, or with the rest of the band, and Dave Grohl really coming out and saying, well, yeah, we'll change it if we have to. And I'm like, okay, so what you're saying, Dave, is I need to go buy every freaking copy of Nevermind right now that's still got that naked baby on it, and then hold it.
Unfortunately, there are so many copies. Like, there are so many 30 years of copies of that I honestly don't think it would be worth much.
The only way you'd be able to do it would be is you'd have to get an original first release from 91.
Exactly.
Because those are going to be the ones, even the CDs will be eventually be worth something once that happens.
Yeah.
But until that happens, it's not really worth shit.
Exactly.
Which is funny.
So what did you think with your first watch of the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Well, let's see. We get 3 songs deep into it, and I'm like, obviously get the wedding, the beginning scene with the wedding, and the preacher's Tim Curry. I see that a mile away. All right, and I'm like, okay, and then the criminologist dude comes in. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. And then we go to the rainy night, and they're driving along, and all of a sudden, first of all, I've never heard a tire blow like that. Sound like a fucking gun going off. Sound like a gunshot
in the mud.
Yeah. And then of course he makes you should have got the spare tire fixed. I'm like, yep. What I thought was interesting in that part, though, was when they were driving up or driving down that road, was Nixon's speech.
Yes.
I'm like, I mean, as soon as I heard it, I'm like, oh fuck, that's Richard Nixon. That's Richard Nixon back from the day, when he was, it was
1975.
Right. When he was pretty much leaving fucking office, like, holy shit.
And they're this prim and proper couple, but they're a prim and proper couple. And I wanted to back up to just after the wedding. Like,
Oh, damn it,
He's
Janet.
proposing. Yeah, damn it, Janet. He's proposing in a graveyard, and they're dancing, and then he drops the ring, trying to put
Yep.
it on her finger, and then they're dancing in the church, like walking down the aisle, and they're
And then they
setting
bring
up for a funeral,
right.
and it's like,
Yeah.
and you can hear the thunder crashing. It's like, no, this is damned. This is damned from the beginning.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I thought it was really funny. Like, all of a sudden, they're right there by the piano, and they come out with that fucking casket. I'm like,
Yeah.
holy shit.
And they're like, oh, I love you. I'm mad for you. And
Have a good one, Steve.
Steve's hopping off. Bye, Steve. Good luck with your show tonight. They're doing Rogue One Radio, and they're doing V for Vendetta at 8 p.m. Eastern tonight.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of shows. I mean, there's a lot of movies I need to fucking check out.
Yeah, right.
But
well, the good thing is that we can always go back and stream them after this show if we miss it.
It's true.
Yeah, technology works for us sometimes.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and then you get into and then the whole fucking setting up for the funeral. I'm like, this is fucking hot.
Oh, and Tom's heading out too. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Bye, Tom.
Bye, Tom.
We should have a new episode of the Orange and Fett Show tomorrow, and that you can download on Spotify.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
all right.
Awesome. Good to hear.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then so here we go. First 3 songs. Obviously you get that opening one, which I'm like, okay, just the fucking lips. I'm like, this is interesting.
Yeah.
And Kim's like, well, she's like, was that when she watched it this afternoon with me?
Yeah.
That was on my second watching, but her first watching.
Yeah.
And she's like, was that Jim Curry? I'm like, no. And I'm going, no, it sounds like a chick.
Yeah.
And of course, I find out after watching it again that no, it was actually Richard O'Brien.
Right.
Like, who knew?
Right.
But yeah, so then I love how after the incident with the tire, he's like, okay, well, I saw a castle back there. I'm gonna go see if they got a phone.
Yeah.
You just sit here in the car. No need for both of us to get wet.
Yeah.
Like, okay. But she
she's
says,
like, oh, you might see some beautiful chicken. You might never come back.
Right. I'm like, okay. And of course, we forgot to mention that they saw, they alluded to seeing multiple motorcycle riders that night, which coming from the opposite, going opposite of them, which eventually come to a fucking dead end. We're like,
where'd they come from?
Where the fuck are they coming from?
We'll never know.
What I swear he backs up like maybe a foot and I'll
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was that? That was a tire. I should got the spare fixed. Like, oh God.
So they're walking to the castle and they get to the castle.
I love that fucking, like, they get out, he kicks the fucking tire, and all of a sudden you get that swipe.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that swipe. And then of course it says do not enter, or God, what was it?
Dead end.
No, at the castle.
Oh yeah.
I can't exactly remember what the sign said. I'm sure DB or Kim or somebody will be throwing it up in the chat real quick. That was like this. But
damn it, Janet.
Damn it, Janet. I know, I'm just like, an interesting love song. Damn it, Janet.
Damn it, Janet.
how to just say you love somebody. Damn it, Janet.
Yeah, and she was like, Brad, I'm mad.
Yeah, right.
For you.
And so then they're walking up, and then we break into another, like, typical musical. You break into another song. And then as the song progresses, you get Richard O'Brien, now I know, playing Riff Raff up there singing. And yeah, there's a point there where, like I mentioned before, you get that Bee Gees sound, the nasal sound that, John Travolta used, and you could hear it really deep in the Grease movie. And I also take it pretty much with the Bee Gees too, very nasal sounding.
Yes.
And that was just, that thing at that time. And yeah, and then the motorcycles come up behind them. I was like,
Mhm.
oh fuck, they're gonna get ran over. Nope, they move real quick. I'm like, okay.
Uh-huh.
And then they go up to the door. Now she's scared. I'm like, how the fuck were you not
Yeah.
scared before this?
Well, now she's scared.
Yeah. And they ring the doorbell, which is like,
Mhm.
that right there would have told me to fucking run.
Yes.
It don't sound normal. And then, of course, there comes Riff Raff, opens the door.
And there's Riff Raff.
Yeah.
Half
And-
bald with his butler outfit on and
kind of got
weird and
that
creepy.
kind of got that Hunchback Notre Dame thing going.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
But yeah, and invites
Staring
him
at both of them like they don't have any clothes on.
in. Right.
And he's like, you're wet.
Right, exactly.
It's
DB breathes.
raining.
Yeah, right. Exactly. DB breathes it up, brought it up. Yeah, exactly. You're wet.
DB put it, yeah.
And then she says it's raining. I'm like, yeah, pretty fucking obvious. And then was it Magenta slides down the fucking banister.
Mm-hmm.
Holy fuck.
I love her, by the way. She's my
Mhm.
favorite character in the whole show.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She is so cool. I love her.
Yep.
Yeah, Magenta sliding down the banister. And then the clock chimes 12.
Yep.
And the time warp starts.
Yes. Which, oh my gosh. I mean, now when
Mhm.
that it started and kicked in, I'm like, all right, rock and roll.
Yeah.
We're at the rock and roll show now. This is what I've been expecting.
Yep.
Like, okay, and this is his first time watching. It's like, okay, I'm enjoying listening to the lyrics. Like, yeah, okay, I get what they're talking about and stuff. And of course, when I watched it, Kim was asleep, and so I'm like, and usually I gotta confirm with her on shit because she and her sister clogged.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I always get the two confused. But I'm starting to remember that clogging's on the fucking toe and tap is on the heel.
Yes.
And so when we watched this afternoon, I'm like, that's tap dance, right? When
yes. Columbia. Yeah.
Right. Which for me, Columbia's voice was like that Betty Boop voice.
Squeaky. Yeah.
Betty
Squeaky.
Boop. Right. Is all I could think of was Betty Boop.
Mm-hmm.
And then she does her tap dance and right. Is that she does it during that. And then I love how everyone's seeing the time warp again, and they're starting to fucking walk back up the steps, and they stop, or as soon as this music is like they all fall to the floor like holy shit.
Yeah.
And then he says something, they all get up and
and
then they start backing up slowly, and then here comes the elevator. And
now we meet Dr. Frankenfurter, who starts singing Sweet Transvestite.
Right.
And now we start getting a little understanding that they're not people, they're aliens. They're transvestite aliens.
Right. They're from the planet of transsexual. From the galaxy of Transylvania.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Of course, this whole time I'm thinking this, I'm going, okay, 75, this is definitely way before its fucking time.
Yep.
And I'm just trying to imagine what was the people in the theater thinking at this fucking moment. I mean, first no big deal. He comes out, makeup on, big friggin' deal. But then when he gets up there,
I have to. You mentioned what are people thinking about in the theater, and I have to tell you this because if this is the first time that you're watching this is actually, it has a following where every single year you will be able to find theaters that actually show it. And
nice.
There's things that you do with the movie, and I'm sure you can Google it and find it, but when it's raining you have to put a newspaper on your head, and when they say great Scott, you have to throw some toilet paper, and it's a huge interactive thing. And there are people all over the country that do this.
Shit.
I did it when I was a teenager. We didn't have a local theater because we grew up in the country, but I did it with some of my girlfriends. You know, we had a sleepover, and you know, we did everything according to, you know, the movie. But
Right.
you need to look that up later, because you will be like, your mind will just like blow to a whole nother level that this actually still goes on today. And this movie came out in 1975.
That's freaking awesome.
It's awesome.
Well, like for me, the whole time I'm watching this going, okay, I'm trying to still figure out. I mean, one thing with it being on Hulu, so this is intended for mature audiences only. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell? So I'm expecting, you know, I mean, for me, I'm going, okay, let's see, mature audiences only. I'm thinking, okay, this is gonna be some fucking deep, you know, really deep down stuff. And I'm the whole time I'm up to this part of the movie where, you know, Tim Curry comes out, you know, Dr. Frankenberg, and I'm like, I'm not even, yeah, I mean, there's a few innuendos here and there about things,
Yeah.
you know, but it's like, yeah, does this really deserve radar? Of course,
Oh, yes, it does.
you know, and of course, Kim's like, well, yeah, think too, you know, think about the times. Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, that's the other thing too, you know, is, you know, you got to look at it for the time, you know, 75. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a different animal for rating pictures.
But even at the end of the show, like, you know, Columbia's dancing in her bustier, and like, she kind of falls out of it a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I thought I caught that on the first watching, but I definitely saw it on the second watching.
Yeah. So yeah, it most definitely needs to be R or higher.
Right. Well, I mean, of course, I'm not sure which song it is, but you know, there is one of the songs that say "mind fuck."
Yes, he does say that. Yeah.
You know, so I mean, once you got the F word in there, well,
yeah,
back in 75, that was automatic. You know, but yeah.
But that was like the only time he cursed in the whole entire movie.
Right. I know, because I mean, pretty much, yeah, it was.
Unless you call it "damn it," you know.
Damn it. Well. I mean,
back then it might have been. I don't know.
You know, we'll sidebar here for a second.
Yeah.
I remember my grandmother telling me, we got talking about radar movies, and this is late 80s probably, and she's like, people in my day, we freaked out when we had Frankie Scarlett. I don't give a damn. And I'm like,
oh, I know, I heard all about that.
Like, what the fuck? Like, who gives a shit about that dumb word?
Yeah.
That ain't a fucking cuss word.
It was very taboo back in the
day. Right. I just keep thinking, like, you know, everybody always likes to bring up, like, what would you do with a DeLorean if you had a DeLorean time machine? I would love to take like half of our fucking shit from today, you know, and take it back to that time era.
Oh,
back
man.
one of those times, and then like let's see some of these fucking movies coming out.
They'd burn you for being a witch.
Oh God.
Oh yeah. So, you know, after Tim Curry comes, he creates his own boy toy, Rocky Horror.
Right. Well, yeah, he invites him up to the lair, which then they strip Brad and Janet down to their underwear.
Yeah.
I love that. I love it when they got in the lair part, and you know, he's there dressed in the dress.
Yeah.
You know, he's also like formal now, like what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then of course there's all the, you know, all the guests and stuff, which you on a second watching you start realizing, oh my God, okay, that was everybody from the fucking wedding.
Yeah.
You know, you start seeing all the different characters, like, oh, okay, yeah, I recognize all these guys from the wedding. You know, and because like Riff Raff, I mean, obviously was, I mean, and of course they use that old, I call it the Green Acres fucking photo.
Right.
I don't remember what the fucking actual photo is called, but I call it the Green Acres photo.
Yeah.
Where, you know, you get the old farmer holding the fucking pitchfork.
Yeah.
And of course that's exactly how at the wedding scene, that's how Riff
Yes.
Raff and goddamn it, Magenta, because I'm pretty sure it was her.
Yeah.
That's how they're dressed.
Yeah.
Like what the hell?
Exactly.
or the part with the criminologist. I'm jumping a little bit here, and I don't mean to, but where he's talking about Eddie.
Yeah.
right? About and they're doing the song, and all of a sudden you see Whistler's mother.
Mhm.
Photo,
Yep.
like really, and of course, yeah. Oh, I forgot there was that pornography picture of a
Mhm.
woman with bare chested in that book too.
Yes, there was.
So,
and don't forget all the statues.
oh God, right?
Yeah.
Kim, when he first came up on the screen,
Mhm.
the criminologist, she's like, "Oh my God, that is," and of course now I can't remember who the fuck she said it was,
Yeah.
but he was in the Bond movie. You know, he was in Diamonds Are Forever, and then going back through, we looked it up and actually found out he was actually in 2 Bond movies.
Wow.
He was actually in You Only Live Twice and
Mhm.
Diamonds Are Forever, which are both Sean Connery Bond movies, which
Mhm.
which
Well,
is why I
Bond
don't
is one of Kim's loves.
fuck, right?
Kim loves Bond.
I know. I'm really shocked she has not forced the issue of doing a James Bond episode.
Mhm.
But for some reason, she leaves all the episode ideas up to me.
Right.
I'm sure one of you think she's gonna finally have enough. We're doing Bond.
I'm
I'm like, give me a month and a half to get prepared for that one.
yeah.
Because at that point, I'm gonna have to watch all the movies so I can talk about all the different James Bonds.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I mean, unfortunately for me, I've only seen Roger Moore.
Mhm.
I have not watched any of their other Bond films. Now I've seen some of the trailers, and yes, they've intrigued me.
Mhm.
But me, I don't know.
I'm not a Bond person. My husband and my daughter are, though.
Oh, well, see, there we go. Okay, so
Mhm.
how about that? Why don't we just get DB and Kim on a show together and they can talk
Yeah.
about Bond?
There you go.
She ain't gonna go for that because she's gonna be like, oh my God. So rewind real quick back to the time warp thing.
Yeah.
And the reason why I bring this up because DB puts it in the it's the pelvic thrust in
Yeah.
the chat.
Mhm.
The fact that the criminologist is literally telling you pretty much how to do the dance.
Yes. And he's doing it on his desk.
Right. First jump to the left. It's like, oh my God, what the fuck? I'm like, all I can think is like, I'm just thinking of this like in 75 in the theaters, like, are people actually getting out of their fucking seats and doing this?
Yeah.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? I mean,
They
like,
do.
you
They
know,
do.
they do, huh? Well,
They do.
that is fucking
Mhm.
awesome.
Yep.
But yeah, like we said, we get up to the layer, the laboratory, however you want to call
Right.
it.
Right.
You
Right.
know, tomato.
And then
But
we get introduced to Rocky Horror,
right.
who then in turn makes Eddie. Eddie comes barreling out of the freezer,
Oh God, yeah.
majorly jealous,
It's played by Meatloaf.
played by Meatloaf.
Which I love how the hair and the side chops all kind of, Elvis-y. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, and carrying a saxophone, riding a
Mhm.
motorcycle. I'm like, fuck yeah, right on.
Yep.
And yeah, and then he breaks into it, obviously. Well,
Mhm.
we forgot Brett mentioned Rocky breaks into a number.
Rocky broke into a number. Yep.
Before Eddie, and then Eddie comes and breaks into a number, which of course, which is interesting. I looked it up because Kim was asking me. She asked me to pause it real quick, and I
Mhm.
did. She was like, "Well, was this before, like, Bat Out of Hell type?" And I'm like, "It's either before or right after it." And I go look it up and find out, holy shit, Bat Out of Hell didn't come out until 77.
So it was before.
It was, yeah. This is like Meatloaf way before
Yeah.
that
2
Meatloaf.
years before.
Right.
Mhm.
This is the Meatloaf that pretty much I think might have got him the record. Maybe got him with Jim Simon and got him a record contract.
That's pretty neat. I didn't know that.
Of course, and then you go. Anybody listen to Bat Out of Hell? Geez, you got to listen to that thing straight through.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It tells a fucking story, which I
Mhm.
love.
Yeah.
And I see we're talking about Daniel Craig in the chat room now. Yeah, he was a pretty decent stormtrooper that
Mhm.
got used by Ray. I thought that was. For me, even though I'm not, like I said, not huge, that big of a Bond fan, but just the fact
Mhm.
that he wanted to be in that role.
Yeah.
He wanted a part in that movie was like, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I applaud you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, Eddie comes and yeah.
And then we discover that Eddie and Columbia are a thing.
Yeah, definitely a thing.
And then
Frank is jealous.
Frank is jealous.
And I mean everybody's dancing to his number, and then all of a sudden, yeah, he decides to run in and grab the damn fucking pickaxe.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's the end of Eddie.
Yeah, that's definitely the end of Eddie.
Which therefore upsets Columbia.
True.
And then it comes out to where Columbia and Dr. Frankenfurter had a thing.
Right.
And then Frankenfurter threw her away. So she went off with Eddie.
Right. Like, damn, you use a son of a bitch.
And here is Brad and Janet.
Right.
Just like, oh.
So then they take. So then we cut back into the I'm gonna make you or something. I'm a man or made you a man. What the fuck? I can't remember the damn name of the song now. Which is a reprise with Dr. Frankenfurter. Let's see, I get the list right. I can make you a man. Mm-hmm. And then they go up into their little bridal suite, because then it kicks into the bridal music.
right. And
him and
then the door closes.
Right. And then they take Brian and Janet to their own rooms. Mm-hmm.
In which they were both visited by Dr. Frankenfurter.
Before that, they were actually being watched by Riff Raff and Magenta.
Yeah.
You know? And it's funny because like Janet realizes that she covers herself. Even if she's still wearing her bra, she's like covering herself real quick.
Yeah.
Yes. And then they think, Janet thinks Brad came into the room.
Right. But it was really Frankenfurter in a wig.
Really, fuck, that was hilarious.
And then when they're done, Brad gets a visitor that he thinks is Janet. Which is really Frankenfurter in a wig.
Right. And then at the same time, Riff Raff has taken a candle, the candle stein thing, and
it starts tormenting Rocky.
Right. And so he breaks his chains and runs away.
Yeah.
Gets chased by dogs. Which during the time with Brad, he gets interrupted and told that Rocky is running around the grounds. He has escaped.
But while that is happening, Janet is watching Brad on camera with Frankenfurter.
Not quite yet.
Oh, sorry. I jumped the gun.
You jumped the gun on that one. That's fine. Hell, this is how we do the show anyway.
This is how we do this.
we don't stick to nothing. I mean, hell, I could just easily just went in here and go, well, the plot says this. But,
yeah.
You know,
it's funner this way.
It is. But yeah, so then we get to that point where she's like hearing the dogs barking, and she thinks they're chasing Brad. I think that's what she's saying. And all of a sudden, no. She's doing all this stuff. Brad goes up the stairs, and it's still all these dramatic, sayings and dramatic stuff. And then, like you said, she turns on the camera.
Yep.
And there's Brad. And Dr. Frankenfurter back in the back, like, Brad, how could you? And I'm like, wait a minute, didn't you just
And Dragon Buddy brings up a really good point. Riff Raff and Magenta are brother and sister, which is a bit weird because they've got some weird chemistry thing going on.
That's true, but I don't think we've been told that there's brother and sister quite yet.
I don't think so either. But
so we don't know about this weird. I mean, it's kind of like, it's kind of like the Luke and Leia thing, where we find out, pretty much Return of the Jedi that Leia kissed Luke twice. That's her brother. God, fucked up shit. You right, George.
Well, they are from the planet transsexual, so I mean, these guys are a little bit different,
These guys are big time different.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, even in some of her fucking hand moves, I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
So
So then,
oh,
go
you
ahead.
go.
So she also hears Rocky whimpering, pretty much crying,
Yeah.
and she realizes where that, and she starts ripping her slip off apart
Uh-huh.
and bandaging him, and then we break into the "Touch Me" song,
Yes.
which, oh my god, you want to talk about sexual? I love it. I love the parts where I've only been kissed. She has.
Yeah.
I love the back and forth that they had, like going back between that scene and right to Magenta and
Yeah.
Columbia. It's like, oh
Yeah.
my god,
Yes. I love
there's some
that.
crazy fucking shit here. And then of course, then then there's that one line where talking about something that may pop up,
Yeah.
like
Yes.
god damn. And then I may have to go down, and they go down. Like,
Down.
like, oh my god. And then of course she grabs Rocky's hands and puts them right on her breast, and he's just like,
yeah.
and then she pretty much beds him.
Uh-huh.
And at that time, here comes Dr. Frankenfurter with Brad and
Yeah.
Riff Raff, and he's whipping Riff Raff.
Yes.
I mean, just and
Yes.
just fucking laying it into him and shit, because he's blaming him for Rocky disappearing.
Getting out, yeah. Which it kind of was his fault, but
Right. And
do you
then
really want to be whipping him?
then also we get there's an intruder, or I can't remember how he says it, but
Yeah.
we get the Dr. Everett Scott. Which,
Yes.
okay,
Dr. Scott.
oh, Scotty. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what is this, fucking
Dr.
Star Trek?
Scott. Brad.
Well, before that, he says Scotty.
Yeah.
Well, I know Scotty. And then, of course, when he comes in the house, then they operate that fucking magnet thing, and it fucking dudes all over the fucking house.
Yeah.
Comes crashing through a wall, comes right down to it. And as soon as he crashes through the wall, then he goes, "Great Scott!" And I'm like, "What is this, fucking Star Trek?"
And when they say "Great Scott," that's when you're supposed to throw the toilet paper.
But I mean, like for me, I'm like, okay, like keyed off the word Scotty, because it's always in Star Trek, and then Great Scott, which actually is not in Star Trek, but obviously later on we get that from Dr. Emmett Brown. Great Scott. But yeah, and so, but before that, Dr. Frankenfurter accuses Brad because, you're friends with him.
Yeah.
So he accuses Brad of being a spy, pretty much, with him. Because I love how they didn't quite say the Federal Bureau of Investigation, but it was a Bureau of Investigation. I'm like, okay,
yeah.
And yeah, then you get that part. Scott, Brad.
Yeah. Brad, Dr. Scott, Janet, Rocky.
Oh yeah. What you doing here? And then, like, you don't know why he's here, and I don't know why he's here. And then that's when then Dr. Frankenfurter walks over to the tank that Rocky was born in, pretty much.
Yes.
As a mummy, and he pulls and Rocky up, and then starts Dr. Scott, Janet, Dr. Scott, Janet, Brad, Rocky.
Like,
what the hell? Oh god. And then
it's dinner time.
Oh god, right?
And then it's dinner time.
Which, of course, when they open up the thing, I'm like, what the fuck, kind of weird. Of course, I'm thinking now, here we're, going to Thanksgiving, here in our time right now, I'm thinking that's a weird looking fucking turkey.
Yeah.
And then, of course,
he just like drops it.
Right. And then they fire up the fucking electric knife.
Yeah. And she's just like holding it like.
I remember, the thing is, I remember those things. It was like a big popular thing in the 70s for everybody to have.
Yeah.
Everyone had an electric knife, which I guess, I mean, even our parents were kind of, I guess, in a way, in that thing like we are with, new technology. Like,
technology.
Yeah, you don't have to go like this. The more you don't. And then
that's all they have for dinner is ham. That's the only thing they're eating.
and then they're, well, wait a minute though.
Mhm.
Then they're going around with the drinks, and then of course Rocky's like, ooh,
Yeah.
I'm just born. I mean, he don't know no different.
And he's like eating it like this, and Columbia's like, fork.
Well, before that, Dr. Frankenfurter, fucking with the friggin' knife, boom, puts the glass back down. And then they say they have a toast,
Mhm.
and then they start eating, and then you bring it like he's fucking Neanderthal in that motherfucker, and she like told him to grab the friggin' fork, and so he grabs it.
He takes the knife and he stabs it in the hand and starts eating it off the knife.
And then Dr. Scott brings up, because we find out Eddie's his nephew.
Yes.
Which then Dr. Frankenfurter, just before that moment, says, anybody want another slice?
Mm.
And everybody just looked down their plate, dropped their friggin' utensils, except for Rocky. He's fucking going away.
You're right.
Down this shit. Columbia runs out, screams. At that point, I'm going, oh God.
I know.
Are you fucking telling me they're eating fucking Eddie?
That's not
Like,
him.
It's fucked up. And then Dr. Scott breaks into a song. Oh God. I'm like, okay, here we go again. The Eddie, they pretty much call it the Eddie song on the soundtrack, but like, fuck. And that's where the Whistler's mother picture comes in, like, what the fuck?
Yep.
And then then what? Oh, then he does something. Dr. Frankenfurter does something, scares the shit out of Janet. She runs over, and Rocky's all,
he yanked the tablecloth off the table.
Yeah,
and that wasn't really a table at all.
It was coughing for fucking Eddie.
Freaking coughing for Eddie. You're eating Eddie, and you're eating on Eddie.
Right. At that moment, you did realize, these motherfuckers are eating that damn motherfucker. Oh, shit.
That wasn't ham.
No, not at all. Nope. That it could have been from the stomach area, or it could have been from the buttocks.
It was meatloaf, so probably.
Honestly, that would have been, if they could have done it. Actually had that fucker come out, and then, the mid dinner be meatloaf. I mean, actual meatloaf.
That would be so funny.
And then fucking pull that off.
Well, he wasn't famous enough back then, so nobody would have understood that reference like we do now.
Unlike Tim Curry, most of the cast from the movie did not participate in the play.
Right.
There's a few of them who either, like Meatloaf, he did the next showing in Broadway. So he played Eddie in the Broadway show, but he didn't do the original London part for Eddie.
Right.
Where some of the, I think it was, I'll double check, but I think it was Nell Cart. What was her name again? Shit. Nell Campbell. And she played Columbia. I believe she played Columbia in the play too in London. But she didn't play on Broadway in 75. So at the same time this movie came out, then they actually took it to Broadway.
Right.
So I mean, Jesus Christ, like really? I can imagine all those. I mean, nothing against New Yorkers and stuff, but I can just imagine all those prim and proper New Yorkers going to Broadway. What the fuck is this? The fuck did we just walk into? So there goes Frankenfurter and Dr. Frankenfurter and chasing Janet with that song.
Yes.
Oh god damn.
Janet ran to Rocky, and Brad's like, Janet, and Dr. Frankenfurter gets all jealous. And
and oh my god, and then so they're chasing each other. Him and Dr. Scott. Brad's taking Dr. Scott upstairs,
up in the elevator. Yeah.
And this tells you how slow that fucking elevator is, because holy shit, they literally run up the stairs through the freaking hole in the wall, and then all of a sudden they get all three of them, they finally all get up there, and they, what was it, sexual, what the fuck do you call that thing? Oh, god damn it.
Oh, I don't know what it's called, but the gravity.
Yeah.
Where they couldn't move.
Yeah, they were stuck to the floor. Like, we're being
Yeah.
stuck. And Brad's like, oh, like, we're being stuck here with glue. You're right,
Yes.
Brad. And then, of course, Dr. Scott's going, but don't you see it? They've done this. We've been working on something like this. Like, fuck the.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's your Area 51, people.
Yeah, exactly.
There's your
So
fucking
now Brad
Area
and Janet
51.
are like, Dr. Scott knows a little bit more than what he told us he knew. Yeah.
Right. Which we find out Dr. Scott was actually Brad's science teacher. What I remember gathering. And fuck. And then he starts pretty much saying, Brad starts cussing out Dr. Frankenfurter in a way, saying, don't you hurt her. And then he takes a swipe and boom, they hit the Medusa switch and boom, statue.
He's a statue.
Which
but he's a naked statue.
Right. That's what I thought was ironic. That they went from being clothed to fully naked.
Fully naked statue.
Except Dr. Scott. He's the only one who still had the blanket over his torso, which I thought was interesting. But yeah, and then the next one's Dr. Scott gets Medusa.
Janet's screaming, and she's and you know they're all statues now.
I love how she called him a hot dog. I mean, you know, Frankenfurter. I mean, well, fuck that is what it is. But yeah, I love how when especially on the women and on Brad, the minute they throw the switch, they're fucking totally nude.
Yeah.
And
then
that's when Columbia comes down and starts cussing him out, saying how, you know, this is where we find out she did love him.
Yes.
You know, they're just going off and off and off. And hey,
and now Ashley she's a statue.
Ashley and Brandy. Yeah.
Oh, Ashley and Brandy's on?
Yep.
Hi, Brandy.
Okay, so it's Hey, Brandy. I totally missed her freaking show last time. I wanted to watch it, and I totally forgot.
It was good.
You'll have to catch the
replay.
Exactly.
You'll have to catch the replay.
But yeah, fucking, oh my god, you know, and yeah, you throw the switch on her.
Yeah.
Then you got friggin', you know, Rocky up there posing, and he's like,
it might as well get him too.
Right. So then he talks about, you know, everybody against me, and then here comes Magenta. She starts cussing him up the storm too, and I'm like, oh god, really? He's gonna do him?
Yeah, I want to go home.
Right. And
he's like, yeah, we'll get there.
This is when we find out they're brother and sister.
Right.
Like, what the fuck? So of course now your brain's going back to all the shit, you know, that one moment when after they got Rocky out of there. I mean, there was fucking he was kissing her on the neck.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like fucking leaving her a hickey or some shit. And like, what the so now you're just like, whoa, dude, this is like fucking Return of the Jedi again.
Well, I wouldn't even compare the two. Like, they know they're brother and sister, but they're from the planet of.
I think that's worse because they do know their brother and sister, and they still do all this shit.
They're from planet transsexual, you know. So, like, I guess it doesn't matter in that galaxy. But
I'm sure.
So then we're brought to the next scene, which is like an empty theater with a stage with all of their statues. Oh, what I missed?
Before that, he mentions that she says she wants nothing. He'll says you're gonna get double nothing, or you're gonna get double whatever, you know. And then he talks, you know, ready for the floor show. So at this moment, you're expecting also we go back to the criminologist who's giving his little rundown and what about the floor show? Then. Like you said, we go into an empty theater, and there's all the fucking statues. They got boost, you know, they're dressed in lingerie. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Okay, so he I love how he just fucking hits the fucking slams all these different buttons. The lights just go blink,
blink. It's on,
and it starts. with Austin Columbia. He demeduces. She starts. I love how she, right as he comes out, she comes out right into song.
Right. Exactly.
Like not going, you dumb.
Yeah. Nope. And they all have this funky face makeup on.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she does her deal, and then here comes Rocky gets demeduced, and then down to Brad, and then friggin' Janet, and then
Dr. Scott.
Well, no, Dr. Scott, at this time he's still Medusa.
Oh,
he's still a statue.
Because
now the fucking curtain comes up and it says an RKO picture. I'm like, oh God. Talk about, I mean, of course, for me, being 50 and now seeing it for the first time, going, oh, like fucking Roger Rabbit shit. But and then of course Tim Curry breaks into another song. I think it's the Rose Tint My World or something like that. No, it's the Don't Dream It, I think it is.
Yeah.
And don't dream it, be it. That's what it's called. And then he dives into this. He walks down and falls off. You're like, where the fuck's he going?
Yeah.
Then you hear the splash.
And it's a pool.
It opens up and he's on this fucking. he's on the fucking. The Titanic's fucking.
Yeah, the little green light. Yeah. Like, what the fuck? The lifesaver float.
Oh my God! Like really? And he's seen away, and then here they all come. They dive in with him. Like okay, and then there's like some some sexual shit going on.
Yeah, like I don't know, like.
Yeah, I mean, this motherfucker would have been Triple X. Boy, it really would have shown some shit.
Oh yeah.
But goddamn,
and there's Dr. Scott, like looking at his legs with the weird,
right? Because he finally does get demedusa,
stripper stockings. Yeah,
right. I'll tell you one thing. I need, and I meant to do it before the show, but I forgot to do this. Is I wanted to look up, like, because obviously, those are female legs. Yeah,
exactly.
And just the way they did that. I mean, obviously, he pretty much on one layer, the female's laying down, another, green screen, blue screen, where the fuck they're using back then, and they get all that taken out and make it look that fucking cool.
Right.
I mean,
maybe he just had really nice legs.
That might be. But yeah, and then they all come out of the water and they start doing fucking the high steps like fucking Rockettes. And there he's in the background fucking doing the one leg fucking.
Yes.
Like what the hell?
This one leg. And then
we get Riff Raff and Magenta show up again.
Riff Raff and Magenta, but they don't look like they're like space people now.
Riff Raff's got that fucking little
ponytail, and Magenta's got like Bride of Frankenstein hair, and
exactly.
They're wearing like like space suits and
exactly
weird space dresses. Oh, hey Don.
Exactly. It's like what the okay, this is getting like, but again, you go
and
back
then
to that.
Dr. Frankenfurter knows that he's in deep crap now. He's in deep crap.
Riff Raff pretty much says, I am the commander and you are my prisoner. You're like, whoa, what the fuck?
I relieve you from your duties.
Right.
Like, oh no, he made a mistake.
Yeah. And then we get the I'm going home song.
Yeah. But he's not going home.
Well, that's the thing is Riff Raff, when he said we're going home, he meant just him and Magenta. But again, that song was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, Tim Curry, God, the man can sing. I mean, fuck.
He is a brilliant actor. I mean,
definitely.
To play Dr. Frankenfurter with the singing and dancing and the heels and everything like that. And, like he was The Devil in Legend. He was Home Alone. He was
The concierge in Home Alone 2, yeah.
yes.
And he did fucking the Grand Wizard in The Worst Witch.
Mhm. Yes.
You know, I mean,
He played Oscar in Oscar, which was
Yeah.
a really funny movie. No, was it Oscar? It was Oscar, but I don't know if that was his name. I don't remember his name in Oscar. It was a really long time ago, but he was in that one. He's a voice actor on top of everything.
oh, I know.
Oh, and let's not forget Stephen King's It. So he could
Right.
also be absolutely
Right.
terrifying. Like that man can do any role ever. Mhm.
And that's the thing is like, you know, and that's like me. Now I'm going, oh fuck, I need to go, you know, check. I need to go watch the original It. I haven't watched even the new ones, but you know, and he was also cast in the film adaptation of Charlie's Angels and in the
That's
role of
right.
Roger Crow. I heard me clicked over just to pull up some stuff here. He also starred in the 1998 direct-to-video film Addams Family Reunion, played the role of Gomez Addams, which
That's right.
I've never seen that. He also played what the fuck? He was in Loaded Weapon 1. Nice.
I know there has to be like
that's funny as Jigsaw.
Yeah. There has to be like 3 dozen blockbuster hits that I'm not even thinking of.
Right. And I'm shocked Kim's not yelling from. Well, I can't win a bell here because I got headphones on. I'm surprised she's not yelling this one out. But friggin', he played Long John Silver in the Muppets Treasure Island.
That's right. I haven't seen that in like 20, 30 years.
I'm looking at some other ones here. The Hunt for Red October, Three Musketeers. Fuck. Yeah, he's been all over the fucking place.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not shocking because, I mean, the guy's a genius.
He's a brilliant actor.
Oh, shit.
What?
Well, I guess I better mention this one then. He also became the voice of Palpatine in Star Wars The Clone Wars upon the death of Ian Abercrombie.
Get the hell out of here. How come I never knew that?
Well, he did it after the death of the other guy, so.
Right.
That's fucking bad.
Huh.
Not that I've seen Clone Wars, but yeah, so there you go. Oh, and Rugrats. Fuck you.
Yes, he was in Rugrats, and he was also in The Wild Thornberrys, which are 2 of my oldest daughter's cartoons.
Nice.
Yeah.
Also, I've also noticed he's done some audiobook work.
Really?
Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events.
I could see that.
Geraldine McCarran's Peter Pan in Scarlet. Okay. Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. Hello. Oh, fuck. And Bram Stoker's Dracula. And a trilogy in an Origin trilogy by Garth Nix.
Right.
Which is also interesting because I did notice this when I was looking up the soundtrack for the Rocky Horror Picture Show on Apple. Also, it comes up with a bunch of Tim Curry albums, like 3 or 4 albums.
Right.
I'm like, dude, okay, I gotta listen to this shit. Afterwards, I gotta listen to some of this shit.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, man. But yeah, he's one of those guys where, you know, I'll bring it. For me, he's one of those ones where, like you said earlier, he can play any role. You know, he kind of reminds me of another favorite actor of mine, and that is Clint Eastwood.
Right,
you know,
right.
Look, all the different genres. You know, he's been in the westerns, the comedies with Any Which Way But Loose, and Every Which Way But Loose. But you know, he's got the dramas out there. I mean, he can do anything too.
Right.
But I mean, except for maybe sing. And that's where Tim Curry's got him fucking beat.
Right.
In my opinion. You know, I know somebody gonna listen to this go, you cannot really compare the two. I'm like, I just fucking did.
It's your show. You can do what you want.
Exactly. It's my show.
Oh, so we're at the end now.
So yeah, so
Dr. Frankenfurter knows that he's in deep crap.
Right.
And Riff Raff's got the death ray.
got the fucking laser. Like, okay, yeah, good thing this thing wasn't written after Star Wars. We probably would have been a laser sword.
Looked like the pitchfork.
Yeah, he
we kept seeing that pitchfork, ever since the church and in all the paintings, that pitchfork kept coming up.
yeah, it definitely did.
Yeah.
And then he gets up realizing he's, like you said, completely fucked. And Columbia screams,
Yeah.
which Rip Rap turns around and just blasts her.
She's
like,
dead.
Whoa, fuck.
She's gone. She's
And
not going
then-
home either.
So then Dr. Frankenfurter starts climbing up the curtain, and Rip Rap hits him, falls down, and then Rocky
He's
freaks
dead.
out.
Yeah.
Rocky freaks out, uncovers him, holds him, and then it took a few blasts to fucking take down Rocky. It took a bit to take him down. But
he was created, so he was strong.
For me, which honestly, when he was climbing the fucking tower, all I could think of was King Kong.
Yeah, right.
Which is what I thought of. I'm like, okay, this is like a King Kong thing, But okay, cool. There's a lot. In a way, there's a lot of throwouts to a lot of different stuff. Throughout the show.
Yeah.
And then Dr. Scott opens his mouth.
Yeah.
And I really thought he was gonna get it.
I did too, but instead they left.
Yep, they let
because that giant castle was actually a spaceship. That wasn't a castle at all.
Right. Oh, fuck.
Oh, yep. What a weird movie.
Well,
classic.
Then you see, Dr. Scott, Brad, and Janet. They're just fucking like crawling all over the fucking place. Yeah. And then it starts spinning, and then they come into the globe that's spinning, which I love that effect.
Right.
And then, of course, the criminologist gives his little fucking final saying, and I love the line, about insects called human beings.
Right.
Or humans.
Humans are just insects.
Right. I love that because it's like, man, how true those words really are. Unfortunately, in 75, people probably didn't quite grab that. Where today we're just like, oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, a lot of that guy can be taken back from, what we've seen Men in Black.
Oh yeah.
I mean, when we get to that point where you realize, oh fuck, we're just a fucking marble. or the part where the little creatures are in the deal, and you realize, oh, that's us.
Right.
We're just in somebody else's fucking locker. But yeah, and then it go back, and then it finishes with them going over the cast, back to the Time Warp Again song. And actually, no, it goes back to the lip song, right?
It does go back to the lip song. But Don said, let's do the Time Warp again. So it probably got stuck in your head.
Yeah, it did. Oh, the thing is like, I find this one interesting because a lot of musicals, I don't like all the songs.
Yeah.
And even though, like I said in the beginning, the first 3 songs were kind of like, when I watched it again earlier this afternoon with Kim, for her to finally see it, because I knew she would love it. And she did. She's sitting here, we're having a little macaroni and potato salad left over from the weekend, and she's literally holding the fucking fork, staring at the movie. And I'm like, oh yeah, she likes this fucking movie. And so I, took it all from her and let her watch the freaking movie.
Yeah.
But god damn, yeah, I'm pissed I didn't watch this sooner. That's the thing for me. I'm pissed I didn't watch it. But I did watch it. And
you did watch it.
Definitely be a Halloween. Maybe not. This will actually be one of those movies I can watch year round.
You can watch it year round, but I choose to watch it every Halloween. That's usually when I can find it streaming somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
it's a classic.
But and I forgot to mention this too, because Kim brought this up in the beginning when they did the 20th Century Fox song.
Yeah.
They rewrote their version of it.
Kind
of like
they did.
Like
musical style.
Right. When John Williams did it, for Empire Strikes Back, he re-recorded it because like the original one that they use that they've been using was fucking recorded like back in the 40s or 50s. So they're using it forever. And John Williams like, well, here, we record a better one for you.
Exactly. Brandy said that a local radio station prize, she won a pick from their prize closet. She was torn between Bram Stoker's Dracula with Gary Oldman and Rocky Horror Picture Show. She chose Dracula, but she regrets it. Womp womp womp.
Yep. I know that is the thing when you get to choose. I mean, but at the time, choosing stuff when they say, okay, you got this or this, it's like what talks to you at that moment.
Yes, exactly.
It was like rewind back to the beginning of the fucking show.
Do you want $50 or the prize in the mystery box?
Right. It's like let's make a deal type thing, or like I was talking about earlier in the fucking show,
Yeah.
When we were talking about Guns N' Roses Appetite for Destruction,
Yeah.
I should have bought the fucking record, but I bought the CD because that's what I had to play.
Yeah.
I didn't have a record player at that time, so an LP to me was useless.
And
then of course find out, with it being the original fucking cover. Now today I'm really going to ding 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 ding.
Right.
What the fuck are you thinking? You should have bought that, but I went and got to play it. But yeah, I mean, we all do. We all think we've all got something that we're later in life we're just like, oh, why? I mean, I told Kim one time, I said, God, I wish I would have played with all my Star Wars shit. I wish I would just kept it in fucking boxes and kept it tucked away and still had it today.
Right.
Still in its original configuration, original boxes and shit. But then again, it were toys. They were
right.
Fuck! When I got all my Hoffs shit, I couldn't wait for winter. We get deep fucking snow there in northern Nevada and fucking. I mean, nothing like they get in Michigan. Fuck. But I mean, love to been playing in that kind of snow. Fuck. I mean, Jesus Christ, you could really come up with some cool shit. But I mean, I literally created the whole fucking trench. The trench run or trench part for Empire. And had shit set up, and buddies would come over to all the toys they had, and obviously
let me put it to you like this, okay? Everybody's that I know says that because let's face it, we all played with our toys. We were Gen X. We entertained ourselves, and that involved playing with our toys. Now, if you never played with those toys and you kept it sealed in a box, would you really sell it after 35, 40 years?
Price is Right. I mean,
I don't think I could.
That's the one thing I do agree with. That I'll pull this back to WWF, World Wrestling Federation, with $1 Million Man, and he said everybody has a price. When you're in that crunch and you either need to get rent or whatever, you get rid of shit. Even though you won't want to. But then. And that's the thing I keep thinking of. But would I still have it? Even if I would have done that, would I still have it today? Probably not. Because there would have been a point where, especially early in my early adult life, where shit got rough and got hard, where I probably would have fucking ran it to a fucking pawn shop and took pennies on the dollar for it. You know what I mean?
Right. And that wouldn't even be worth it for a childhood cherished memory. No. So I don't regret playing with my toys.
Exactly. Well, and that's the thing, and I'll bring this one up. I don't remember how old Colby was, but he got a Dale Earnhardt Sr. race car, Hot Wheels car. And he opened it. It was for his birthday. He opened it on his birthday. And I remember somebody going, how fucking dare you allow him to open that? Like, why? He wants to fucking play with it. It's a toy.
Yep.
That's, it was, shortly after Dale had passed away, big fucking deal. He wants to play with the fucking car. It's a toy car to him. He don't give a shit.
Yep.
And again,
I agree with that.
That's the thing with all the toys, if I didn't play with them, then they would just collect dust, and more like I would never got any more anyways.
Right. I mean, if you just bought them for the sake of buying them, it's just And here I say that with all my pops behind me.
Right.
But,
Okay,
but I
okay,
love my pops.
but here, but the thing is different. Okay, the difference is now, one, those are meant to be collected.
Yeah.
You know, those are numbered. You know, I mean, toy.
And I don't have all of them in the box. Like I purposely buy these little guys
Yeah.
that aren't in a box
Yeah.
so that I can play with them.
You know, and that's the thing. Like with me, I mean, I had a brother-in-law that gave me for Christmas one year, gave me Darth Maul.
Mhm.
And that was when they had that little card reader thing that you had to purchase separately to get
Yeah.
it to say shit.
Yeah.
I opened it. You know,
Did you have fun with it?
I was 22. No, I was 28 years old.
Mhm.
I mean, I laugh every time, like back on the old thing, Star Wars days with Dave and Jason.
Mhm.
You know, when Dave was there and he was brought when they were separated that one few times where Jason was away on leave and shit. And Dave was literally just fucking playing with his TIE fighters and shit. I'm like, dude, I'd be fucking doing that too.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, or those times when they're in the fucking studio and he brings out the fucking lightsaber, or
Mhm.
you know, with Dawn, Dawn putting on the fucking Yoda mask. Oh my god, I love the fucking Yoda mask. Of course, now, now that fucking Yoda mask has to happen every show.
Oh yeah.
You know,
When they come back from their pee
right,
breaks.
exactly. We the fans all expect that Yoda master. One, because
Yeah.
it fucking freaks Brady out, and because he reacts to it,
Yeah.
it makes it even a better thing. But I love that Yoda mask.
Me too. Me
You
too.
know, and that's the thing. I mean, they brought out lightsabers before and shit. It's like
Mhm.
exactly. I mean, it's like me, going and spending. Well, hell, I spent $28 on 6 months ago on a Electric Company Peter Pan. It was put out by Peter Pan Records.
Mhm.
The Amazing Spider-Man from the Electric Company.
Right.
I had that back in the 70s, and of course, I played it a little too much and
Mhm.
scratched it too much that it doesn't. The original copy I had didn't sound that good. So I
Right.
bought a brand new copy, and I fucking opened it
Right.
because I want to listen to it.
Exactly.
It's something from my
Mhm.
childhood. I
Yeah.
mean, we've bought older records from eBay or from even off Discogs that were sealed.
Mhm. Yeah.
Were sealed.
Mhm.
And I mean, were sealed because I've opened them.
Right.
I'm not collecting the shit to go. Well, okay. Well, when Brendan Case and oh god, fucking the other two grandsons just went blank. Anyways, my 4 grandchildren fucking get older. Oh well, they might be able to sell it.
Yeah.
For a pretty penny, but yeah, it don't matter. I'm still gonna use it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, hence why when we originally did this show, hence why it was called, why it's always been called Used and Abused.
Yep.
Because it was all about the music, because
Mhm.
from cassette, from records, 8 tracks, cassette tapes to CDs that we've used and abused.
Exactly.
I
Mhm.
mean, fucking iPods got used. I mean, when I finally got an iPod Classic, I abused a little bit of shit out of that thing.
Yep.
And yeah, so,
Mhm.
but no, I enjoyed the fuck out of this movie.
I'm so glad. I'm glad that you watched it. That's
Well,
really awesome.
I think the thing I'm finding out for me is
Mhm.
because back when Dave and Jason did the Monty Python, the
Monty Python? Yeah.
and I hadn't watched them yet, and so I
Mhm.
finally, okay, fuck this, I'm gonna watch it. Watch the Holy Grail. Oh fuck, that's a really good movie. And then
It's
I turn
so
around and
funny.
watch Life of Brian. I'm like, oh fuck yes,
Mhm.
this is even better.
And then you got to watch The Meaning of Life.
I do, yeah, I definitely need to watch a few more of them.
Yeah.
But I mean, and real quick, let's just go over a little bit of the cast here. Susan Sarandon played Janet Weiss.
Yeah.
I mean, Thelma and Louise,
Mhm.
stepmom. I mean, again, she's another actress that we can go on and on.
Mhm.
One that shocked me, and this is really a shocking one to me, is Hilary Farr, or at the time was credited as Hilary LeBeau, played Betty Monroe. She was
Mhm.
the gal that got married in the beginning of the movie.
Mhm.
I was looking this up because I like to know like a little bit about cast and crew, or cast, mainly the cast. And Hilary Farr is a British Canadian designer, businesswoman, television host and former actress.
Mhm.
She is known as the co-host of HGTV, Home and Garden Television, for those that don't know what HGTV is, and W Network's television series Love It or List It. Like, are you
That blew
fucking
my
kidding me?
mind.
That blew my mind too. 'Cause like, okay, I know this show. My late wife watched this show. Kim, we don't watch it that much. I don't think she really cares for it, but it's like,
Mhm.
fuck, like really? And of course, I mean, finding out that Meatloaf actually, again, hadn't really Bad at Hell wasn't released until 77. So this is before Meatloaf. This is before the rock singer, in a way.
Exactly.
And
Mhm.
a lot of these people, some of them, they really didn't do much after this, like Peter Hinwood, who played Rocky. Permits is only known for the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Mhm.
Barry Bostwick, he played Janet's fiance. He was he played the mayor Randall Winston in the sitcom Spin City
Right.
with Michael J. Fox.
Right.
So, and Kim's like, oh my God, I remember that. Richard O'Brien, who played Riff Raff, he's done, I mean, obviously he wrote the Rocky Horror Picture Show. He wrote all the music for it. He's also a composer, writer, and musician, plus a
Mhm.
television presenter, but also an actor. He, of course, everything's always about the Rocky Horror Picture Show. He does a lot of voice work.
Right.
I've noticed. And Patricia Quinn, she best known, obviously, for her Magenta role,
Mhm.
but she goes all the different cons, but she's actually from fucking Northern Ireland.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, it's really fucking cool.
That's neat. That's
And
neat.
then, like I said, Nell Campbell, who played Columbia, I
Mhm.
believe she, like I said, I think she was also in the play for Rocky Horror Picture Show, which
Right.
most of the people besides Tim Curry and her and Richard O'Brien were not from the actual original cast of
Right.
the play over in London.
Mhm.
So this is crazy. Night, Alan. But yeah, I mean, I like, especially when you don't know some of these people, you're like, oh wow, okay, who are they? I mean, obviously Susan Sarandon. I mean, Tim
Mhm.
Curry, Susan Sarandon. Those are your big names.
Those
Now
are your
you're
big
like,
names. And
and of course,
Meatloaf. Everybody
Meatloaf,
knows
right?
Meatloaf. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm
but
so
then
glad you liked the movie.
I did, and Kim loved it. Oh my
I'm
God,
so
I
glad
knew
Kim
she would.
loved the movie. Yeah.
I knew she would. I know she's not. I love how it's like, Rocky horror. I'm like, really, and of course, those Gen Xers that grew up in the 70s and 80s were like, or even the 90s and shit, were like, okay, horror. We start, first thing that pops in my mind is fucking the slasher flicks.
Right. Right.
I'm looking at Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween. Well, not Halloween, because Halloween didn't really fucking wasn't a slasher flick.
Mhm.
But your not even Exorcist, but what's that one I'm thinking of? Hellraisers.
Hellraiser. Mhm.
And of course, then Wes Craven fucking rewrites the script
Yeah.
for the Scream series.
Mhm.
And then I know they got like with their fifth one getting ready to come out,
Mhm.
which looks interesting.
Yeah.
I told Kim we were gonna go to the theater and watch. She's like, no, we're not. Like, damn it. She goes, you can go by yourself. I'm like, fuck. I saw Scream 3 in the theater. It's the first time I ever went to any quote unquote horror flick in a theater.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, okay, of course I listen for all the music cues.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think got me with the Saw series, especially the first Saw movie. The music cues weren't there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's like I try to tell Kim, we can watch these movies. We can watch Nightmare on Elm Street. We can watch Friday the 13th. I go, because there's music cues. There's cues in the music that you get ready for that okay, this is going to happen.
Yeah.
And then the minute they stop doing that, but then when they stop doing that, that's when you're like, the fuck?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing is this was, obviously we were supposed to do this episode, 2 weeks ago, I think it was.
Yeah.
And we had the internet outage, which really sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Which I love how when, or 3 weeks ago, whatever it was, because friggin' I love it. Dave's like, well, that's what you get for not doing it. I'm like, God damn it, Dave. And of course, and I noticed on that episode, he said, yeah, well, you guys really, damn, your first showing should be in the theater, which, listen, you talk about all the stuff. Yeah, I understand why now.
Yeah.
And hopefully maybe next year I'll have to keep an eye out with the theaters we have here to see if
definitely
if anybody shows it or not.
Yeah, Google that. Things to do during the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Or
I definitely will.
Yeah, you'll enjoy that.
And then real quick on this is go ahead and hit some of the filming locations or filming. Film was shot at Bray Studios and Oakley Court, a country house near Maidenhead, Berkshire, England, and at L Street Studios, which for a Star Wars fan, we know L Street.
Yes.
we know L Street Studios. I mean,
absolutely.
And it was also L Street where they did all post-production from October 21st to December 19th, 1974. Oakley Court was built in 1857 in the Victorian Gothic style and is known for a number of Hammer films. Much of location shooting took place there, although at the time the manor was not in good condition. Much of the cast were from the original London stage production, including Tim Curry, who had decided that Dr. Frankenfurter should speak like the Queen of the United Kingdom. I love it. Extravagantly posh. I love it. Fox insisted on casting the two characters of Brad and Janet with American actors, Barry Bostwick and Susan Sarandon. Filming took place during autumn, which made conditions worse. During filming, Sarandon fell ill with pneumonia. Holy shit.
Oh, jeez.
Filming of the laboratory scene and the title character's creation occurred on October 30th, 1974. Oh, how awesome is that? Devil's Night.
Right.
They filmed out on fucking Devil's Night. That's fucking awesome.
Maybe that's why it's a Halloween movie.
Right? The film is both a parody and a tribute to many of the science fiction and horror movies from the 1930s up to the 1970s. The film production retains many aspects from the stage version, such as production design and music, but adds new scenes not featured in the original stage play. The film's plot, setting, style echo those of the Hammer horror flicks, which had their own instantly recognizable style, just as Universal Studios horror films did. The originally proposed opening sequence was to contain clips of various films mentioned in the lyrics, as well as the first few sequences shot in black and white, but this was deemed too expensive and scrapped.
Interesting.
Damn. I love it. I love that was filmed on Devil's Night.
That's neat.
Which is interesting because when Don and Brady did their Crow episode.
Yeah.
Out on, at least in Nevada, we call it Devil's Night.
Yeah.
I never even heard it called Mischief Night.
Maybe it's an East Coast thing.
It might be.
Yeah.
It was Devil's Night out here too. Out this way too. I mean, I don't know about Arizona, obviously, but like at least in our small town, for me, my favorite part of Halloween is fucking creepy as fuck. I'm the one who wants to go in the fucking cemetery.
Oh, so you like the adrenaline rushes.
I love going in the cemetery on All Hallows Eve and find the darkest fucking corner and just sit there and either set up with a bunch of friends or bring people in.
Right.
And scare the fuck out of people.
Right.
Or the best one is me and my buddy CC. We were going to his house to watch Nightmare on Elm Street. And we had a couple girls who were taken with us, and he decided nobody wanted to go through the fucking cemetery because where our cemetery is located, we could hop a fence and be right near his house, his trailer house. I'm like, dude, I'm going through the fucking cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't know if the girls would go along with this or not. Nope, not one bit. So they moved down a little ways, and he comes back up to me and goes, "Are you going to do anything?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Are you going to fuck with them?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think so." I go, "If you guys are going to go,
Oh, no.
if you guys are going to go fucking around, go around a long way." I go, "I'm going to fuck with them." So sure enough, I waited for them because they took a minute to go over there, and I started heard him talking. He was talking a little louder. I'm like, "All right, cool." And I just waited, and all of a sudden, I just went running up against this wooden fence, hit it as hard as I fucking could. And went, oh! Friggin', they start screaming. I'm hurry, and luckily I had a bunch of fucking fake blood.
That's terrible.
So I fucking cover my whole, like, from here, I'm just covered in fucking fake blood now, and I climb over the fence and just fall on the fucking ground.
Right.
And they come up, and he lights his fucking lighter, and like, "Oh my god!" He starts shaking me, and one of the girls fucking shake me. I go, "Ah!" Oh, shocking! I didn't get fucking decked.
Oh yeah, that's terrible, Scott.
Highlight. No. That was, yes, it was terrible. But the highlight of that fucking night was we took him to his parents' house. They were gone. His dad's a fucking cop in our town.
Right.
In the back of the trunk of their fucking car. I didn't know this. Chris he didn't tell me about this shit. And he's like, his dad, they got there, he realized we were all watching Nightmare on Elm Street. Okay. But one girl's like really close to the fucking door of the house. Lights are off. Watching Nightmare on Elm Street.
Right.
His dad opens up the trunk, pulls out, because Chris had the hat, the mask, the glove, the sweater. His dad donned all his shit on. Slowly opened the door. We had the fucking TV blaring. I mean, it was loud. Slowly opened the fucking door, and literally with the fucking glove touched one of the girls. She fucking let out a fucking scream that I had never. I was like, "Oh damn!" I looked over and I saw Freddy Krueger. I'm like, "Cool." But yeah, the cool part is, I mean, unfortunately, I just found a little bit ago that he had just passed away too. But just remembering that, and then like the first time, or the time that he fucking pulled me over. He fucking purposely pulled me over, hit fucking cherries and sirens. I'm like, I wasn't speeding. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And of course, my buddy Chris CC, he's like, "Oh, watch this. He's gonna tell you to take me home." Comes up to the car. Where you guys going? Stop cruising. Good. Get his ass home. Okay. Yes, sir. Ain't gotta tell me twice. Yeah, nope. I dug that man. He is fucking awesome. And he was a drummer too, and he taught his son how to drum and shit.
Right.
Yeah, it was. Oh god, yeah, that's probably one of my best fucking favorite Halloweens.
That's awesome.
I've always, I think until my kids were born, I could easily want to scare children coming up to the house. But now that after they've been born and gone kind of through that scary part of the Halloween portion with them,
right?
I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Even though you'd love to be able to put that little sound speaker out there and all the fucking weird fucking sounds, and maybe get some of the zombie sounds from fucking Walking Dead. No, I really enjoyed this fucking movie. I really did.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it the second time today. I mean, I use Kim as an excuse. Yeah, no, you need to watch it at least once, but no, I was already going to watch it again anyways. And I thought, what better way to watch it? But watch it just before coming on live.
Right.
Have it really fresh in my memory. But yeah, no, I'm trying to think of the actors back then, and I'm like, even the the Janet and Brad part. I'm like,
Yeah.
it was a perfect combination of actors and actresses for this movie.
Yeah.
You know, and again, taking a lot of people from a few of them from the stage show was fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the fact that Richard O'Brien, you know, literally kept doing his fucking role of riffraff.
Right. Right.
You know,
he nailed riffraff.
Oh hell yeah! Well, Tim Curry, he nailed Dr. Frankenberg. Jesus Christ! Yeah, no, I enjoyed the hell out of this movie.
That's excellent. I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
Yeah, there's not. I'm finding out there's a lot of stuff that, you know, like even the stuff I haven't seen before, where I go and watch it, go, oh wow, you know what? I remember the trailers for this coming out, and I just remember going, yeah, it wasn't my cup of tea, or at least it didn't seem like my cup of tea.
Yeah.
And then I go watch it now. It's like, fuck, I like this. I really like this movie. You know,
there were a couple of movies. Most of the time, it's Don and Brady over at the Escape Pod, and they'll do a movie, and it's like, I never watched it, or I watched it in the 90s. I really don't care for it, and just do a rewatch. Just do a rewatch. Sometimes I'll do a rewatch, and I like it. Yeah. Most of the time, it's like, nah, I still don't like it, and then you know they hate on me.
Excuse me. Well, it's like music, right? Because I remember in the 90s when everything just got really overindulged.
Yeah.
You know, same thing what they fucking record companies did in the 80s. You know, I was like, okay, screw, you know, hell this. I'm gonna go, and like, I'm already a depressed person. I don't really need a lot of depressing music in my life.
Right, right.
I'm like, shit. Let me go over like, yeah, but I'm like, yeah, of course I'm like, let's see what else could I listen to. Well, you know, country's not bad. I mean, I enjoy it. I mean, I like all genres of music except probably opera. I just can't really. I can't get into that one. But I mean, I do like all genres of music. I mean, crud. I love friggin' some shit from the disco era, friggin' Casey and the Sunshine Band and stuff like that.
Right.
You know, so. But and honestly, a lot of that comes from my parents because my parents listened. You know, my mom like Beatles, the Beach Boys, Elvis, and but my dad was also like listening to Steppenwolf and Creedence and
right.
Fuck. So growing up in the 80s, as all their, you know, kind of like I've been waiting for that to happen now, but obviously they don't do that anymore. You can buy those, you know, TV, you know, those ads on TV. Straight from 1985. Unfortunately, this shit is in Walmart all the time. You know, oh, look. Now that's what I call the 80s. Oh, let me get this.
Yeah, I know.
You know, but he'd get all this stuff, and it's like, oh my God, you know, I like this song. I like this song. I like that song. Or, holy shit, I thought this was actually an Elvis Presley song.
Right.
And I find out, oh no, it was actually Creedence Clearwater Revival. Like,
right.
Fuck. But yeah, I mean, and so that's kind of what got me into all the different types of music, you know. And so for me, country's never been that hard thing to grab. Today's country's harder for me.
Yeah.
Mainly because I'm now hearing the crunch in the guitars.
Right, right.
You know, the day they started playing Elvis Presley on country radio in the 80s, I was scared.
Right.
I went, the day I hear Motley Crue on fucking country radio, someone's gonna die.
Oh no.
and as today's country gets more of that crunch and more of those lead, you know, 80s style lead guitar solos in, I'm like, oh fuck, we're getting closer to this day.
You're getting closer to it, Scott.
Like, I don't. I mean, imagine like 30 years from now, going, some kid come up to you, hey man, you heard that new band Metallica on country radio? Fuck off, you know. Fucking Walking Dead come out of me.
Oh man. So Scott, what are you gonna cover next week?
Fuck, I don't know.
All right.
I have no clue. That's like, you know, me and Kim we're talking about like, okay, we got November.
Right.
Like Thanksgiving.
Right.
Like, wait a minute. Halloween, we got Halloween movies. Christmas, we got Christmas movies. There really are no fucking movies in November.
Maybe you should cover a band then.
I think, yeah, what I should do is like Kim. I think Kim needs to think I should really let Kim choose like the next
Yeah.
3 fucking episodes.
Or maybe you can do Bond.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know. That'd be a lot of cramming, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's
That'd be a
true.
lot of fucking cramming. Because
Yeah.
for me, I would have to watch all the movies
Yeah.
just so
I'm sure
I'm
you guys
familiar
will
with
come
them.
up with something. You
I'm
guys
sure we
always come
will.
up with good things.
Yeah, we try to.
Mhm.
We try to.
Yeah.
But I mean, I need to do, since I know NASCAR's about this weekend's their last race for the season.
Wow, that came fast.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
we're at the last race of the season.
Mhm.
I actually want to reach out to Freddie Kraft. He's
Right.
a spotter for Bubba Wallace,
Mhm.
but he's also on that Door Bumper Clear show. And I want to reach out to him like after they do their final episode of the year and say, hey, like maybe for Tuesday evening, because I mean, I'm not gonna have him come on 5 a.m.
Right.
The dude will probably be fucking drunk. He'd
Oh,
probably be drunk at
no.
fucking 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. too, so it wouldn't matter. But
Right.
I want to try to get him on, just want to talk about this like season and what he thinks from a
Mhm.
spotter, because he's actually been to some of these tests
Right.
with a new car, and
Mhm.
get what he some of his insight for what he thinks about the new car
Right.
and what we can be looking forward to for the 2022 season.
That would be cool. That would be a
Yeah,
great
but
interview.
it'd be a lot of fun, and plus
Mhm.
on my show he can fucking cuss, so he don't have to worry about it. But no, I mean there's actually a really good show, or they just played a trailer for a new show, Dirty Mo Media, but that's Dale Jr.'s
Mm,
radio thing he does.
yeah.
And they're gonna do a 10-part weekly series on the Burton family, Ward
Right.
Burton, Jeff Burton, and now their 2 sons.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, this is gonna get deep,
Mhm.
because there were times where Jeff and Ward didn't talk
Right. because
because they were both NASCAR drivers, and shit that happened on the track interfered with as being brothers.
Right.
I
Right.
was like, fuck.
Mhm.
So yeah, but I can't wait for that. They didn't give a date when it's coming out. It just says coming soon. Like, fuckers, I want a date.
Right.
Don't you know I need a date? But yeah, no, yeah, we got the end of NASCAR coming up, and then
Mhm.
F1's got like 1, 2, 3, 4 races left, I think.
Right.
I know they won't end until December.
Right. Right. Right.
But again, they put a lot of protocols in for this season
Mhm.
due to a lot of countries having the quarantine stuff in place. So they
Right.
try
That
to put
makes
a lot.
sense.
It does make a lot of sense, because one, if they had an area like Japan
Mhm.
after the Olympics said, no, we're not going to allow you guys to come in for F1. We're shutting our country down.
Right.
So that opened the door for them to get another race in place.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, so that'll be fun. But it's like trying to figure out what to do with that now. Like, I know we were originally talking about, well, we'll just keep it going during the off season. Like, fuck, really?
Mhm.
I don't know.
I can't really see that happening though.
I mean, I love doing it because you and DB were in there every
Oh, I
morning.
know. We have a blast.
Don jumps in, hey, morning, y'all, off
Mhm.
to work or going to
Off
work
to
or
work.
whatever. Like, fuck, and then
Tom's just getting home from work.
Tom says, yeah, I'm driving home. Like, dude, don't be fucking typing in the chat while you're driving home.
Yes.
Fuck. But yeah, it's like,
Mm.
doing that has been hell.
Yeah. People making me throw wrenches before I have a sip of coffee.
That was so freaking interesting, that was just happened to be that one night you did what, WSTR the night before.
Yes.
You
No, it was the Case of the Mondays with the Salty Nerd podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we didn't get done until after midnight.
Oh, and you told me, you sent me a personal message saying, hey, I'm probably not going to be up in the morning. Hey, no problem.
This is the one time I'm not gonna mod. I'm gonna sleep in a little bit. And then I hear the phone ding and I'm like, that's not a normal ding. And it's you in the Red 5 chat saying we're gonna get attacked by trolls.
Oh shit. I'm like,
I will be right there.
Oh God. And then then you did, I guess, reporting them all. Freaking by the that evening's episode, all the dislikes were gone.
Thank
I was
God.
like, I'm like, damn. Talk about wrench throwing. Holy shit.
I smacked him with the wrench and then I kept smacking until those dislikes disappeared.
Yeah. Well, it was like Kim. I mean, Kim's like, it's funny on that episode there because Kim's like, Scott. I mean,
Yeah.
usually I'm the one going, okay, it's 2 a.m. here, Kim. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. And she's like, God damn, trashing, just going off about trashing compound or PJ1 and shit. Like, fuck. And it was just like, oh my God, I'm waiting for one of these early morning ones. You going, boom, 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 boom. Open up, it's the police. Fuck. What's going on here? You know, we're having a podcast,
but it's all good. It's all
what your neighbor said. But yeah, I just thought it was funny because like Tom was asking where you were. I'm like, oh, she just did a Salt Dinner podcast. Told me what was going to be in it, and all of a sudden here comes these fucking trolls.
Of course.
And I'm just like, and of course, what do? I'm like, it's none of your fucking business is what I'm fucking and of course, I'm going off, and Kim's like, Scott, trying to pull me back. And of course, the one thing I learned after it's all over is like, okay, just look at the chat first. So you see something new, like, hello, Hannah. You're fine. Don't worry about me.
Hi, Hannah.
But, and make sure you know who okay, I don't recognize this one. Okay, what do they say? Okay. And just continue on.
Yeah.
And that's,
that's why it's always good to have a mod in the chat.
Well, that's the thing, I mean, I think it's funny, like when we finally decide we're gonna go live, me and Kim are talking, I guess it wasn't right at first. It was like within the first couple live shows, I'm like, we were just talking. I'm like, we need to make somebody a moderator just in case. In case.
Yeah.
She's like, well, Kelly's always in there. I'm like, or Lineker's always in there. I'm like, hey, perfect. Listen, actually, no, because it was under your other one, the Kate Olsen. It was under that because that was always funny. You don't go Kate Olsen under our show.
Yeah.
But then Lineker under everyone else.
Yeah,
and then once in a while you show up on David Jason's as Kate Olsen. I don't know who the hell Kate Olsen is. Like, really, guys?
you
fucking kidding me? Like, really?
They know it's me.
Right? Really? You're gonna play that way? Like,
oh.
But yeah, so I was like, nah, fuck, we'll make you a mod. And yeah. I just it was like, well, I figured we start early enough on this shit. Get enough fucking moderators. By the time we do get a shitload of people in the chat, and I'm like unable to keep up with it or whatnot, then at least moderators can take care of shit. Yeah, no, I have no friggin' idea. I mean, like I said, I'll talk over with Kim, come up with something.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. I really don't know what the hell we could do some music. I'm sure she would love to throw something at me that she knows I don't want to listen to. Or, I wouldn't put it past Kim to do to me.
What?
Two things. Either want to have another show with Hannah and talk about Twilight, or fucking Dirty Dancing.
There you go.
I'd rather talk Twilight than fucking Dirty Dancing. Oh, God. That was like one movie where I watched it once and I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah. And I got so sick of the fucking soundtrack, it wasn't even funny. Because every time you go do a school dance, like first everybody like, oh, can you play I've Had the Time of My Life? Yes. Oh, can you play Hungry Eyes? Yes. And then like 10 minutes later, they're coming back asking for the same fucking song. It's like, really? We just did it.
Maybe you should save this memory for next week when you're talking about Dirty Dancing with Kim.
Yeah, I see Hannah's already blown up.
I'm never going to be a co-host ever again, am I?
No, you will be. It's all good.
Yay.
That's what makes this shit fun is for us to, for like even with me and Kim to do something where, yeah, it's not like my cup of tea.
Yeah.
I mean, Hannah, it's all Hannah's fault. The reason why I even read the fucking Twilight books.
Uh-huh.
because she had to go. She wanted to go midnight fucking release of Breaking Dawn
Right.
for the book, of course. Being the cool dad I am, yeah. Hey,
Mhm.
I never got doing that shit. Let's fucking do it. Go over there and get it.
Uh-huh.
So then, of course, we get home with the book. We didn't live that far from Barnes and Noble,
Mhm.
and the first words out of my mouth are, "We have a very busy day tomorrow.
Yes.
Do not stay up all night reading this book."
Uh-huh.
Because what I did, what I was informed of, was she was going to get an hour jump on my sister.
Mm-hmm.
My sister at that time was still in Pacific time zone, being down here in Arizona. So Hannah had to book for an hour earlier than she did.
Right.
For a whole hour gap, So yeah, no, she didn't get much sleep that day. But no, I mean, I read the books. I mean, yes, Hannah, it is your fault. Don't you know how this works? I tease about it now, and mainly I tease Kim about this, but I look at the Twilight series now, Edward as the Mormon vampire.
Mm.
That's pretty much because the chick. This is too bad Tom's not still in the chat because she actually graduated from BYU.
Right.
But so that's why I'm like, yep. This is the Mormon version of vampirism. But unfortunately, with those, I mean, again, those movies, they did sell a lot of. They sold. They made a lot of money. The books made a lot of money.
Yes.
30, 40 years from now, yeah, it'll always be that. There'll be that cult following of people who did like it.
Right.
For me, Anne Rice.
Right.
I mean, and I know there's people in the 90s who did not like Interview with a Vampire.
Right.
Fucking love that movie.
Right.
I mean, Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, holy shit.
Right.
and for me, it was like, okay, I'm looking at Tom Cruise going Risky Business, Top Gun, Days of Thunder. Now he's a vampire.
Right.
Awesome.
I did like that movie too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I never did is read I read Interview with the Vampire book, but never read the rest of them. I wish I would. Maybe I will one of these days. One of these days.
Someday. I have my someday list too.
Yeah. Oh heck. So Kel, where can everybody find you?
Well, I am on Instagram at the Sidebar Cantina. I am on Twitter at Sidebar Cantina. We have a Facebook, the Sidebar Cantina Facebook page. That's pretty interactive. We're starting to stray from there because of, Facebook jail and, all that fun stuff. So now we have a Sidebar Cantina Discord. So look us up. I'm most chatty over on Instagram. We have weekend this and that quizzes, and I love to interact. So, hit me up, chat. We'll have fun.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yes. And of course, I know the Use and Abuse Discord ain't really a lot of movement in it. There's some here and there. But yeah, unfortunately, with all the Facebook jail stuff, yeah, it's pretty much like, fuck this, just go to Discord. Sidebar's going. Fuck it, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna jump over there too.
Yeah,
let's get this shit done now. That way, we have it out of our way.
There you go.
That way, when everybody decides to fuck off Facebook, I mean, if it wasn't for Hannah, if it wasn't for some family members on it, I'd probably already be off of it.
Exactly the same. I barely ever post on there. Actually, no, I never post on there. I only basically go on to check my notifications, and to post things for, our followers, and, sometimes put things on your page or Used and Abused or, the Escape Pod. And I like to watch the Facebook lives from War of the Stars, another
I wish they
stellar Red 5
podcast. I wish they would move over to YouTube. create a YouTube page and move over. I would wish
Oh, they
really
have
would
a
do that.
great podcast. They're doing
Yeah.
the Women of Star Wars right now. So
Oh, well, they're still doing that, huh?
yeah, so
Nice.
good. So good.
Yeah, I've caught a few of their episodes too, and that's
Mhm.
yeah, and that's like, oh yeah, of course. So with this new Apple update, what
Yeah.
does it fucking do? It wipes out my whole fucking list of podcasts.
Oh no.
So I've got to literally go. I had to literally go back and read. But I'm like, oh my god.
You know where you can find the whole list though? You can find it at bio.link/Red5. You can find every single Red 5 there and all of their streaming sites.
Yeah, it actually takes you straight to Spotify.
Straight to the streaming site. So
yeah, whatever streaming site, yeah.
Yeah.
The only
really awesome link.
But the only one that's missing on there is Around the Ring.
I think they added that. Didn't they add that?
Did they add that?
I'm gonna check it right now.
So am I.
It is not on there yet.
Oh, we need to get on somebody.
We need to fix. Yep.
But yeah, no, there are some great friggin' podcasts with the Red Fibers. Oh my god,
definitely.
Like I said, I just got done listening to the last 2 episodes by Ro and Chantel with Scare Podcast. And oh man, and then I heard that Chantel wants to do a Clint Eastwood episode. I'm like, oh, hey, see, fucking Ro reached out to me one time and said, think of something we could do together. And I'm thinking, that's something we could do together.
There you go. Go
like,
drop him a line. Get on that. We could see Scott from Used and Abused on the next Scare of Scuttlebutt.
Oh god. Yeah, well, just as long as it's not at the same time we're doing fucking Bond.
Yeah.
I mean, good thing is most of like Clint Eastwood movies, I know most of them. I've watched most of them at some point in my life. There's probably a few I haven't seen, but
Yeah.
Then of course, tomorrow night you will be on Facebook Live.
I will. Not Facebook Live. I will be on Facebook Live. Booth in the Back. Jeez, how did I forget the only podcast that's actually like I'm a co-host of? I actually have a podcast that I co-host with Don and Brady from the Used and Abused, or not the Used and Abused. Oh my gosh, Scott, it is past my bedtime.
I can tell. Don and Brady from ATSW The Escape Pod.
Yes.
Which then after was about an hour or half an hour after Booth in the Back.
About a half an hour after 7:05 p.m. is on YouTube.
On YouTube, yes.
ATSW The Escape Pod. And tomorrow they're doing a Dune roundtable. And myself and Dragon Buddy and a few other people are going to be on that roundtable.
Damn it. I knew there was another fucking movie I was going to watch this weekend.
You can still watch it.
I know.
It's on HBO Max.
I know. I was going to actually watch them both. I was going to watch the original and then watch the new one. Just to refresh my memory with the original.
Yes, I like the original. I'll talk about that tomorrow. Exactly. I closed out the chat. There it is. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
All righty.
But everybody check out again. If you're on Facebook, go to Sidebar Cantina group page where. That's where you guys do the live.
That's where we do a Booth in the Back live.
Booth in the Back, right?
It covers the fantasy football standings from the past weekend.
So
I did not do so well.
Oh damn! Does anybody have? Did anybody have Jameson Winston as their quarterback?
I don't think so.
Well, if they did, they better be getting a new quarterback because he's out. MCL ACL tear.
Oof, that's a rough one.
Yeah. So now the Saints are down to the third string quarterback.
I think so.
It's like Drew Brees freaking retires, and all of a sudden, like, oh damn, we got nobody now.
Yeah.
They pick at Jameson, and I mean Jameson. He's a damn good quarterback too.
Yeah.
I watched. We were watching NFL Red Zone, which. I don't know how the hell I ever watched football without that fucking channel before.
Right.
I mean, because for that one, that's like being on Correct TV and having access to Sunday Ticket.
Right.
And the difference is with Red Zone, you've seen every score and you pretty much you're checking out every game,
single thing that happens in the red zone.
Right. And you're not being stuck to whatever game is in your local market.
Right.
Which I wish DirecTV would lose that fucking Sunday Ticket package. I wish it just become something we could all get.
It would be nice.
It would be. I mean, not that I really cared to watch my Niners play this year.
I hear you.
I would still probably watch a few other games, but no, I definitely watch that Red Zone. I love watching it that way.
Right.
I mean, it really makes for the day to go by quick.
Yeah.
I mean, there's times where all of a sudden Kim will be like, the race is on, right? Oh, fuck.
Whoops.
It's like, oh, well, it's just fucking NASCAR. It's not that hard to figure out. They're making a left turn. They're making another left turn. That's why I love that character, Bubba J from Jeff Dunham.
Yeah.
He's got, because he's fucking drunk and drinking all the time. And like, why you like NASCAR? Because it's easy to follow when you're drunk. They're making a left turn. They're making another left turn.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, nope. Oh God, so
I'm old.
We're old.
Oh man.
These youngsters don't know what the hell old feels like.
It feels like this.
Yeah, but they don't realize that, your body feels old, but your brain still thinks you're fucking young.
My brain still thinks I'm young.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Your brain's still like, oh no, we can play this video game for 18 fucking hours.
Yeah.
We only need a couple hours of sleep. And then you go lay down and you wake up fucking 24 hours later going, what day is it now?
No, it does not work anymore.
No. Yes, if you're looking for any other podcasts, go check out the Red 5 Network at that bio.link, because you will find everyone except for Around the Ring. But we'll get on it. We will
make sure that they get on that tomorrow.
Exactly. Check out all the podcasts on there.
Yeah,
there is definitely something there for everyone. And I'm enjoying the hell of listening to everybody's shows. It's made it harder to listen to the ones I used to listen to. I've actually gone now to actually start cutting out a lot of the true crimes and shit like that, because I'm like, I ain't got time. I want to listen to all these guys.
Yeah.
And
I love following all the live streams.
Yeah.
It's like talking with friends.
It is.
About stuff that you love.
Yep. And that's why I enjoy the hell of the Red 5 Network. That's why I'm so thankful for Don and Brady of introducing us all to the Red 5 Network.
Yes, absolutely. Way to go, Don and Brady.
Exactly. If I had the fucking iPad set up, you'd have got a big old fucking cheer. But anyways, until next week when we do whatever the fuck we're gonna do.
Yes.
Kelly, thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Thank you once again for having me. Seriously.
I enjoyed it because, one, it was great because you had seen the show. And so you've seen it before, so you were able to keep us going but yeah, no, it was fucking awesome. I love the movie. I loved
it's
it.
A great movie. And Kim, feel better. Rest that voice.
Yep.
Hot tea and honey.
Yeah. Yep. Well, she's been doing hot water, lemon juice, and honey.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the best.
All I told her, said we just need to get some BV and you got a hot toddy.
Yeah, right. But then Kim couldn't work.
True.
Or she could work. She just won't be very good at it.
She won't be very weak. Hannah's mom introduced me to those, and holy shit.
Yeah.
Now when I get sick, it's like, yo, I want one.
Yeah, right.
Make me one now. Just fucking knock, it just knocks your ass out, and you get under those covers and you just sweat to death, and
Mhm.
yeah, you usually feel 10 times better the next fucking day.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like, wow, and we've been taking all this fucking medications for what?
Yeah.
Anyways, oh gosh, but no, yes,
Yeah, thank you for having me again.
oh no, thank you for coming on, and just pay attention
Anytime.
to Hannah's so yummy. Oh god, we started her too fucking young with alcohol. Oh well.
Mhm.
But yep, just pay attention to the social medias. I'm sure I'll throw something out there. If not, it will next week will be a nice surprise.
Woohoo.
Maybe that's
Sounds
what we'll do.
good.
Surprise. I'm sure Kim's back there going, no, motherfucker, we're doing Dirty Dancing. or who knows, she may stick another musical on me and go, we're gonna do Annie.
Oh.
Which might be okay. Well, I mean,
another musical.
Well, yeah, but I do like that one. I've seen that one multiple times, and back in fucking grade school, we did a performance for Tomorrow.
Right.
So,
that would be neat.
Who knows? I don't know what she'll throw at me, or she'll be like, "No, you choose something." But again, I mean, I know there's like, we kept throwing out all this different shit, like the Schumacher movie thing they had on, or documentary they have on Netflix. I mean, there's a lot of shit we've been throwing out we want to watch and we haven't watched. So, but yeah, we'll come up with something. We always do.
I'm sure you will.
if not, we'll just fucking do a goddamn Q&A or a what the fuck is it?
Go round table.
Yeah, or ask us. Well, I always call it ask us anything.
AMA. Yes.
Yeah, AMA because it's ask me anything, but I always call it ask us anything. So AUA.
Yes.
Yeah, there's two of us. But yeah, maybe we can do one of those two. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll probably save that probably for the end of the year.
That sounds like fun.
It sounds like more of a better thing to do like last week of December.
Yeah.
But I know December we're gonna be doing Christmas movies. This time, really doing Christmas movies.
Sounds good.
We've only teased that for 3 or 2 years now. Last year we went, straight into the top 5s of TV shows and movies, and that's it. But this time we're actually gonna do some movies, and yeah, we're gonna watch something that I think we're gonna throw in one each that the other don't like.
Right.
And so that'd be interesting.
That would be interesting.
See if our tastes have changed or whatnot. But yeah, who knows what we'll do next week. Just stay tuned, people. That's all I can say. Stay tuned.
Sounds like a plan. It's always exciting here.
It is. And unfortunately, it's not, if this was a scary podcast, it would always be sunny, but it's not. Well, actually, it is. Well, no, it's not no more. It is now dark.
Yeah, shit. It's pretty dark here.
It is dark. It's always dark in Yuma. All right, Kelly, thank you again for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, and thank you again. So much appreciated. And everyone else, until next week when we come back at you, probably with a racing episode, maybe, but definitely we'll be back Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern with whatever. Until then, have a great work week have a great week. Have a great weekend. Be kind to everyone. Peace.